Welcome to Boston and welcome to Baseball Night in America, pitting a couple of iconic franchises, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Boston Red Sox, at one of the great ballparks. Welcome inside Fenway Park on a gorgeous Saturday night in Boston. Yeah, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth with A.J. Przinsky, who played for both these clubs. I'm Joe Davis. Early on this season, Red Sox 10-19. They weren't doing what everybody figured they would, and that is hit. But from that point forward, they've been mashing the ball. And those three guys, you look at the top of the order, Devers, Martinez, and Bogaerts, 2, 3, and 4, as good as any in baseball.
Oh, no doubt. I challenge anybody out there to find a better 2, 3, 4. These guys are top 4, 3 of the top 4 in average in the major leagues. They hit for power, they drive runs in, and they are the guys for the Red Sox. If they have any chance of catching the Yankees and getting where they want to get, which is the World Series, these three guys have to keep driving the bus.
How about the Cardinals in the first season under Ali Marmol? They are in first place in the Central. First month of the season or so was all about Nolan Arenado, but since then it's been all about the guy that if you were handing out a National League MVP at this point, it'd be him. It's Paul Goldschmidt.
He has my vote. Right now, Paul Goldschmidt is the best player in the National League. He hits everything. He hits with 2 strikes. He hits the ball up. He hits the ball down. He hits with runners in scoring position. He hits for power. He plays a Gold Glove first base. This guy for the St. Louis Cardinals is the best player going in the National League. And if they want to stay in first place like they are now, he has to keep going.
Pretty amazing. All-Star 6 times, gotten MVP votes several times, but better than ever this season here in his 4th year in St. Louis. How about this weather they've got for us this weekend, huh?
It's chilly.
It kind of is by summer standards. 63 degrees. Not that humid. It is pretty windy today, though, gusting up to 20 miles per hour as these teams face off for the middle game of this 3-game series. These iconic franchises that have faced off in 4 different World Series. 1946 and in 1967, the Cardinals won in 7 games. Slaughter's mad dash around the bases to win Game 7. Bob Gibson had 3 complete games in 1967, including in Game 7. The Red Sox ended the curse. The 86-year drought ended against the Cardinals in 2004. And then in 6 games behind Big Papi, an absolutely epic performance. Hit close to 700 and was an easy choice for MVP in that 2013 Fall Classic. Here in 2022, both these teams having good seasons. Here are the Cardinals tonight. Their starting lineup. Tommy Edman leads it off. Brendan Donovan, one of the rookies that has been injected into this lineup and has been awesome. Paul Goldschmidt out of the 3 spot. Then it's Arenado. Nolan Gorman, another one of the rookies, just 22 years old, hitting 5th and DHing tonight. In left field, Tyler O'Neill. Cardinals trying to get him going again after he got MVP votes last year. Has struggled here in 22. Carlson out of the 7 spot. Harrison Bader in center hitting 8th. And Andrew Kisner out of the 9 spot starts at catcher with Yadier Molina on the injured list. This is Cutter Crawford, who made the team as a reliever, really struggled, got sent down. They brought him back up on Sunday and 1 hit over 5 shutout innings against Seattle.
Alex Cora said they want him to be a starter long term. They sent him down for the exact reason that we're seeing today, to be a starter for the Boston Red Sox long term. His pitch usage, he has the appropriate name with Cutter. He throws a lot of hard fastballs, high 90s, and he loves his cutter. When in trouble, he runs to the cutter. So whoever his parents are, they named their kid perfectly for what he would become.
Just picturing in Little League, came out there throwing curveballs in the middle. We didn't name you curveball, boy. Cutter Crawford gets ready for his 2nd start against this good Cardinals lineup. Best lineup has been in years for St. Louis, and this guy's been a big part of it. Tommy Edman turning himself into one of the most well-rounded players in baseball. Gold Glove winner last year, versatile, but legitimately a threat offensively now, hitting close to 300, and comes in with a 7-game hitting streak. To the Cardinals at 37-29, a half game up on the Brewers in the division. Off we go. Strike 1 from Crawford. Red Sox 35-30. They've won 12 of their 15 games in June. The Yankees won't stop winning, though, and so they've actually lost ground in the division while winning 12 of 15. That's at the knees, but a little bit low, says the home plate umpire. It's Chad Whitson calling balls and strikes tonight. Pop flies center field. Sharon Duran for the first out of the night. Rest of the umpiring crew, along with Chad Whitson. The crew chief is Paul Emmel. He's at second base tonight. One away in this first inning for Brendan Donovan, who came up in late April. And they figured that they'd like him, right? They knew that he was a quote-unquote ball player, scrapper, and that they'd like what he'd give him. But I don't think anybody saw this coming, hitting .338.
They didn't see the numbers coming, but they knew his approach. They knew his gamer mentality wouldn't change. All the reports, and we talked to Ollie Marmol before the game, he said all the reports said this guy is exactly grinds at bats, doesn't give it bats away. Biggest compliment you can give a young kid, he hasn't given a bat away yet.
Fouls this one off, and it's 2-1. There is the first-year manager of the Cardinals, 35 years old, the youngest manager in baseball.
Dr. Phillips High School grad.
Yeah.
Harvard of the South, Joe.
That's it. Yeah. Now on a 2-1 pitch. That's taken high for ball 3.
And we've already seen the cutter from Cutter Crawford. He got an out from Edman with it, and now he's attacked Donovan with it a few times. He fouled it off, tried to go there again. Everything's hard. That's the one thing about Crawford. Everything is hard. He throws some breaking balls. He throws a curveball. He does throw a changeup occasionally. But everything is hard, hard, hard. That's the one thing as a starter. People can make that adjustment.
On a 3-2, Donovan pokes one down the line, foul. Donovan was part of that spooky rally from the Red Sox perspective in the 9th inning last night. Looked like everything was wrapped up. It was 6-1 with 2 gone and the bases empty, and the Cardinals rallied for 4 runs and had the tying run in scoring position when the game ended, 6-5. Another 3-2, and the first strikeout of the game for Crawford.
And this is the cutter. Watch this ball just go in and down. More across the plate. Saw Donovan look back. That's Mariano Rivera-esque with the spin, how it ended up behind him. You know you have a good pitch when the batter looks back and is like, how did that ball move that much? They have no chance to hit that ball if he throws it again.
That is a hard guy to strike out, and Donovan. Crawford gets him for out number 2, and here is Paul Goldschmidt. A 6-time All-Star and having his best year yet. He's first in average, first in on base, first in slugging. Pretty much pick your category, and you're going to find Paul Goldschmidt at the top of it. On a 1-0 pitch, he swats it foul, and it's 1-1.
First in hitting with 2 strikes. First on balls down. First in it's what the start he's gotten off to is really incredible. The one thing he always had, he had a hole in. He's hitting that ball. He's hitting home runs on balls in. That was always the plays. Oh, Goldschmidt's up. All right, let's throw him one in, steal a strike.
Pulls one through the left side, 2-out base hit for Goldschmidt. Cardinals have their first base runner of the night on a single from Goldschmidt. Keeping the inning alive for Noah Arenado.
Another cutter. That one's up. Goldschmidt actually catches it off the end of the bat. But when you're hot, ball goes in perfect places. You see the Red Sox no shift. Pretty straight up because Goldschmidt will use this year. He's using the whole field, especially on ground balls.
It's been an interesting year for Arenado, who was the player of the month in the National League in April, was not very good in May, kind of up and down in June. Had a home run in last night's game. In his first at bat tonight, he takes ball 1. Nobody more intense, nobody harder on himself than Arenado. So even when he's putting together a great stretch, if you ask him, he'd be like, well, what's going on? You'd think he's the worst player in the world if you ask him. But he's as good of a hitter as there is over the last decade.
Well, you look up, he's OPS 840, 12 homers, 276. He'll tell you he's having a terrible year. Most guys, other than maybe Paul Goldschmidt, would look up there and say, man, I'm pretty off to a pretty good start if I keep this going. 30 plus homers, 100 plus RBIs, 275, over 800 OPS. That's a really good year. But Arenado, like you said, Nolan is very hard on himself. And I love what Ollie Marmol said. We just need him to have fun when he comes to the park. Just have fun and play.
Yeah, remember that it's a game. It's 1-2. But that's also why he is who he is, right? The intensity and being his own worst critic. That is largely what has made him the player that he is.
It is, but can be your own worst enemy at the same time. If you listen, it's easier said than done to, oh, it's just a game, it's just a game. But when you step into the batter's box or you come to the park and you're not performing the way you think you should, it does wear on you. And I think the manager, Ollie Marmol of the Cardinals, hey, just go play, relax, you'll be good.
On a 1-2, he watches ball 2.
And you don't win Gold Glove after Gold Glove and have the career that Nolan Arenado has had if you're not good at baseball. It's natural talent, but sometimes your mind gets in the way, and you got to get your mind out of the way and just have fun. It sounds so simple, but as a player, it's really hard.
31 years old in his 10th major league season, second one with the Cardinals after they acquired him in that trade before last year. Goldschmidt at first with 2 away. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Arenado fouls it back. Time for our Indeed player resume. Taking a closer look at the career that he's put together. 9 consecutive Gold Gloves for him. Last year he didn't think that he was good enough going to his left, even though he won his 9th consecutive Gold Glove. So he focuses offseason training on that. He's the #1 third baseman in the majors, going to his left through 2 months this season, like the great ones do, finding the little bit of weakness, addressing it. On another 2-2, he watches ball 3. The count is full.
I don't know if there's much he can improve on defensively. If you've watched a highlight show when he was in Colorado or even in St. Louis, to the left, okay, maybe a little bit below the greatest you've ever seen. Going to the right, he's the best I've ever seen. The throws he makes from the foul territory. He's probably going to catch Mike Schmidt this year with his 10th Gold Glove.
There goes Goldschmidt on a 3-2 that's lifted in the air, deep left field. Nolan Arenado for the second night in a row goes over the monster. A 2-run shot and a first inning lead for the Cardinals. Thirteenth of the season for Arenado.
Another cutter up. This one he doesn't get off the end of the bat like Goldschmidt did. He gets underneath it, stays through it. And when you throw all hard like Cutter Crawford does, hard, there's nothing to keep a guy, especially like Arenado and Goldschmidt, from diving out there, looking hard, trying to get the bat head out. It's exactly what he did.
And now the rookie Nolan Gorman taking ball 1.
And you see what Crawford did, first pitch curveball. He'd only thrown one other slow pitch. Everything else had been hard. When you're a big league hitter and you can look pretty much one speed, it can be pretty dangerous. Especially as a righty, everything's kind of going away from you towards your barrel. Especially if I look up and I see the green monster and I'm righty like Arenado, I'm trying to pull a ball just like he did.
Gorman has his bat destroyed and a roller to first that Dahlbeck grabs and feeds on to Crawford to end the first. Nolan Arenado, one of the big bats in this series with a 2-run home run. We've got all kinds of superstars as the Cardinals and Red Sox face off on Baseball Night in America. Two 2-0 as the Red Sox come to bat for the first time tonight with this lineup. Jarren Duran leads it off. Then Devers, Martinez, and Bogarts, the big hitters we talked about right away tonight. Trevor Story in his first season with the Red Sox trying to get things going. Franchy Cordero, Bobby Dahlbeck, Jackie Bradley back in Boston, and Kevin Plawecki does the catching out of the 9 spot. And the Red Sox face off with a sinker baller, the ground ball machine, Dakota Hudson, who's had a good season, although coming off his worst outing, gave up 6 runs over 7 innings against the Reds on Sunday. His first pitch of the night is in there for a strike on Duran.
Sinker slider for Dakota Hudson. Watch for the catcher, Kinzer, just to set up right down the middle and let his ball work. His ball moves so much that he'll never hit the middle of the plate. He's trying to throw it in the middle of the plate, and it'll run either away or into the left-handed hitters when Duran comes up. But Mike Maddox, when I was talking to him before the game, he said, this guy's stuff is amazing. We just need him to throw it over the plate.
Just swing and a miss there. Ollie Marmol said, look, it's pretty simple with this guy. When he attacks, he's really good. But that game on Sunday, barely 50% strikes. So they say, you know, ground ball guy, sinker ball guy, you're going to have some games where ground balls just find holes, but you can't give him free bases by putting him on with walks. There's a grounder and an easy play for Donovan at second for the first out of the night.
He gets a lot of weak contact. He gets a lot of ground balls, and that's the perfect start for him. He got ahead in the count. See a two-seamer, which is a sinker and a slider. He does elevate every once in a while at the four-seam. The biggest key for him that I've heard from the Cardinals, Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, is tempo. He's got to pick his tempo up. He's been much better about it this year. Before he was going 35, 45 seconds between pitches. This year he's down to 10 to 15.
Strike one on Devers, who just keeps on getting better. I mean, he's added the defense to the equation. He's playing above average defense. This is as good of a player as there is in baseball.
He's always been able to hit. Defense has always been a question mark. And you talk to Alex Cora, the manager of the Red Sox. He says this dude has went to work. He heard it. Him and Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop, they went to work this offseason, and they've gone to work. And I love.
It's a grounder right back to him. Two out.
I love what Alex Cora said. He said we've given them now. They wanted to know. They see the numbers about your defensive metrics. They give them the numbers and say, hey, this play was a +1 or whatever the numbers are. And him and Bogaerts have seen it, and they've made the improvements to get those numbers up.
2 up, 2 down in this first inning. There's the manager of the Red Sox and Alex Cora, the clean-shaven Alex Cora. Red Sox fans know well the shaving of the beard was, you can say, it's what triggered this whole thing. They're 10-19. He cut it off, and 25-11 since. JD Martinez with the bases empty and 2 out. We asked him today, you going to grow it back at any point? He said, sure. Yeah, off season. Not going to mess with it.
Oh, he's not touching it. He's not. There won't be a whisker on his face as long as they play this good.
JD Martinez hitting .349, second in the American League. The power has started to come too, but here he flies out to center, and Harrison Bader puts it away, finishing off a 1-2-3 first for Hudson. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Ford, built for America. And by Progressive Insurance. Progressive offers 24/7 protection when you bundle home, auto, and motorcycle. Back in Boston, the place to be this week in sports. The NBA Finals, Red Sox and Cardinals, the U.S. Open not too far from here. Cutter Crawford back to work against Tyler O'Neill, and he's on the outside corner with a fastball.
And that's the one thing Crawford needs to do. He needs to get strike one. He's had a hard time with that. When he gets strike one, the numbers completely change.
You know, one of the lowest first pitch strike rates in baseball. A lot of that, of course, is out of the bullpen with his rough start, rough first month. Gave up 13 runs in 11 innings, so they sent him down. And he gave up 11 runs in 13 innings in AAA, but he was lined up to start when they thought they might need somebody with some injury issues they're dealing with in the rotation. And so he found out he was going to start on Sunday at 8:30 that morning. Got a text from the pitching coach, Dave Bush, said, all right, let's do it. And he had the best outing of his career.
Sometimes you don't want to know. There used to be guys you'd play with that just don't tell them. Tell them the morning of, or tell them at 5 o'clock, and don't let them think about it.
O'Neill goes the other way with a leadoff base hit. For more on Cutter Crawford, we bring in Ken Rosenthal.
Well, Joe, Cutter Crawford is a 16th round pick out of Florida Gulf Coast. That's the same school that produced Chris Sale. Now, the two did not overlap. Sale is 7 years older, but Crawford remembers Sale coming back to the school, visiting the baseball team. The first time he saw Sale, he noticed from a distance this tall, lanky guy wearing a T-shirt and cargo shorts. Crawford thought to himself, who is this guy? He's walking around like he owns the place. Well, as Sale drew closer, Crawford realized, whoa, that's Chris Sale. He kind of does own the place.
Here's Dylan Carlson taking strike one. Chris Sale, by the way, a couple inning sim game on Thursday. He's scheduled to officially begin his rehab on Monday with a 2-inning outing in Florida, coming back from that stress fracture in his rib cage. They're hoping sometime early July. It's 1-1 on Carlson. This is from Thursday. This week, first time that he's thrown since February. Except for that stress fracture in the rib cage. And Alex Cora and everybody that was watching this raving about how he looked.
I saw him a couple weeks ago, 10 days or so ago, down in Fort Myers at the complex. He looks, first of all, he looks massive. He's up to like 190 pounds, which for Chris Sale is jacked.
Yeah.
But he said his arm feels incredible. His arm feels back to pre-surgery time. He just said he needs to get healthy. He is chomping at the bit to get back and pitch for the Red Sox and try to help them get back in this division race.
Crawford to Carlson with a 1-2 pitch. It's 2-2. Now, the rotation coming into the year for the Red Sox was a bit of a question. It has exceeded expectations, and especially in this month of June. Still no Sale, still no Paxton. Evaldi goes on the IL, Whitlock goes on the IL, but they're a major league best 9-2 with a 2 ERA with the starting pitchers. There goes the runner as Carlson rips one down the line. A fair ball and a perfect pitch for O'Neill to take off on. He hits third and comes home. It's an RBI double for Carlson, and it's 3-0 St. Louis.
Dare we say hit and run from the Cardinals? They will run. This is another cutter. Carlson just beats it to the spot, lines it down the right field line. And with O'Neill running, he even hesitates. He scores easily. But let's not underestimate the play that Jackie Bradley Jr. made down this right field corner to keep Carlson from being on third base. He actually cuts his ball off. I know O'Neill scores, but the play Jackie Bradley Jr. made in that right field corner saved Carlson from being on third.
Third hit of the weekend for Dylan Carlson. Still nobody out in this second inning as Harrison Bader takes ball one.
Again, everything's hard. Every slower pitch he's thrown has been a ball, whether it's a curveball, hasn't thrown any changeups yet, but everything is between 89, 88, and 95. There's nothing slow, and anytime, if you're a hitter and you have basically one speed in one location, you should have a good day.
So you see something slow pop out of his hand and you're just spitting on it.
That's the plan, at least. Now, you'll catch someone every once in a while that is just cheating and gets it out front and swings and misses at it. But if you're hitting off Cutter Crawford, you're thinking, okay, he's going to throw me. Cutter's coming in as a lefty or going away from me as a righty. Just be ready for it. And you see that swing. That was the slider, the best slider he's thrown all game. And you saw the swing by Bader because it fooled him because he's not expecting this velocity on this pitch. It looks like a cutter, but it's slower. And you see how out front Harrison Bader is.
Crawford gets ahead 1-2 on Bader, who had a couple hits last night, including the triple. Joss misses with the fastball, and the count evens up.
Everything away to these right-handed hitters. Everything away. He threw one pitch early in the at-bat to Bader for a strike, but if you're a hitter, you're saying, okay, if he can do that 3 times, great. But I don't believe as a hitter, especially a righty, that he can throw enough fastballs in to get me off the ball away.
On a 2-2, Bader watches ball 3 again away.
I think that was a changeup. 88 miles an hour. I'm not sure. But it looked like a changeup. That's why you saw Plawecki set up in. He was trying to get him out front on something just different.
3-2. Popped up. Foul ground first base side. Plawecki gives way to Dahlbeck. 1 away in this second. They still have a free chance to win $10,000 of Big Papi's money tonight playing Fox Bet Super 6. Scan the QR code now. Download the Super 6 app and get your picks into the MLB's Super 6 Challenge for a free chance at $10,000. Wonder if he brought it with him tonight.
I hope so, because I'm going to try and play, and if I win, I'm just going to take that chain. It's got to be worth at least $10,000, doesn't it?
Those seats are worth something. right there next to Alex Cora. Last time these teams met up in the World Series in 2013, he had one of the great fall classics ever. Hit close to 700 in that 2013 World Series win. The catcher Kisner takes strike one.
That was the whole playoffs of David Ortiz.
Yeah.
Remember the home run, the grand slam against the Tigers?
I mean, weren't all of them, though? Little pop up on the infield off of the bat of Kisner. Devers is there for out number 2. We've got Big Papi here. We've got Albert Pujols here. A couple of the great hitters of all time before the game as his farewell tour continues. They honored him here at Fenway Park, and Big Papi was on the field to greet him.
Nice gesture by the Red Sox, giving him the 5 from the scoreboard. Huge hug between the two. One a Hall of Famer already, and the other guy, Albert Pujols, a future Hall of Famer for sure.
So cool that he's finishing up in a Cardinals uniform.
It is. He should have never left. I get why he did, and I would have probably left also for the amount of money he got, but it's nice to see him come back.
2-out chance for Tommy Edman, who slashes it foul.
Yadi Molina, who's on the IL, probably his last year. He's going to finish as a Cardinal, as he should. Adam Wainwright, we'll get to ask him here if it's his last year or not coming up, I think next inning, but those guys are, certain guys are just meant to be in one uniform, and Albert Pujols was meant to be a Cardinal.
It's fitting that you bring up that statement right now, because the guy at the plate here, Tommy Edman, Adam Wainwright said this guy was meant to be a Cardinal. Nolan Arenado said the same thing. So when you picture a Cardinals player, Tommy Edman has so many of the qualities that you think of.
He's good.
That helps.
Paul Goldschmidt looks pretty good as a Cardinal. Arenado, he looks like he was meant to be a Cardinal. If you're good, I think you're just meant to be a Cardinal. You know, I got my 2 months in as a Cardinal.
I was going to say, you're good for 2 months. Runner at second, 2 out. A 1-1 pitch is in the dirt. Well, Tommy Edman so far has graded out as one of the most valuable players in baseball.
You told me that stat before the game, and I would have never guessed without seeing the actual numbers. And it's because of his defense, his hitting, his running of the bases, his stealing bases, everything.
On a 2-1 pitch, chops it foul, and it's 2-2. He is second in the majors in wins above replacement, just an overarching category. Attempts to give a player's full value, and you touched on it. He's one of the best defenders in baseball. He is the #1 base runner in baseball by Fangraph's base running statistic. Leads the National League in stolen bases. You want a more traditional base running statistic. And the offense this year, just the normal offensive numbers, well above average. He takes inside, and he's worked the count full.
If you would have given me 50 guesses, I could have got 4 of the 5, but Tommy Edman definitely probably would not have been in the top 50 guesses I would have gotten. The other 4 you've heard of. They've been all-stars. They're superstars in the game. But this guy is one of the best players that a lot of people outside of St. Louis have never heard of.
Payoff pitch is bounced up the middle. It is Bogaerts cutting it off and getting him. Well, a close play there as Bogaerts and Story came together. A little bit of indecision, but he makes the play. They're kind of tiptoeing their way off of the field. Yeah, they got him.
That's what I'm talking about.
Watch baseball live or on demand on your favorite supported devices. You can save 50% now through Father's Day. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. 9-pitch first inning for Dakota Hudson. Now the heart of the order for the Red Sox. Xander Bogaerts.
It's outside.
Takes ball 1. Bogaerts hitting .421 over a 10-game hitting streak. Top 5 in the majors with that average. He, like Rafael Devers, playing better defense this season, and when you incorporate that, this is as well-rounded of a player as there is.
Just a baseball player. One of the best going, quiet, steady, does his job, shows up, plays every day. Oh yeah, he's got a chance to be a free agent at the end of the year too, Joe.
He's got an opt-out at the end of this season. And all indications are that he will exercise that opt-out. Had some extension discussions this spring, but unable to come to terms on it. Yeah, boy, if you're going to be entering free agency, certainly the platform season that you'd like to put together. Chase is here, and it's 2-2.
Add in the defense, like you said, much improved. Worked really hard on it. Add in World Series. Playing in a place like Boston, so the media and the fans, they don't bother him. He's been in the biggest spots. If he doesn't come back to the Boston Red Sox, there will be a hole. I know they have Story possibly to fill in, but there will be a hole.
On the ground left side and through, and a leadoff base hit for Xander Bogaerts, promptly extending the hitting streak to 11 games. And setting the table for the man that they acquired to play second base next to him, at least for this season. 6-year contract, $140 million. One of the calls that sealed the deal for Trevor was from Xander Bogaerts, who said, "I want you here. Come on over. No hard feelings." Well, got off to a rough start. Then he was Babe Ruth for 2 weeks, but he's struggling again. So last night when he knocked in 2 with a base hit early on in the game to give the Red Sox the lead, kind of a sigh of relief. Somebody who's always hit over his 6 seasons in Colorado, still trying to get his footing here in Boston. Strike one.
When you switch teams like he did, especially for the first time, Joe, it is so hard. It is. Arenado, Goldschmidt, all these guys, they do it for the first time. When you do it the first time, you believe he believed he was going to be a Colorado Rocky for his life. Now that doesn't happen to very many people, that they get to stay with one organization and have a career. You would have thought Nolan Arenado would have been a Rocky. He would have been the guy. Signed a long-term extension. He would have stayed there for his 20-year career. Retired his number. Here he is in St. Louis. Goldschmidt with the Diamondbacks, right? You're like, this guy is a cornerstone for the franchise. After Arenado left, okay, Trevor Story was the guy. They let him walk. It is so hard. Freddie Freeman over after Atlanta, now he's in LA. Everything is different. It takes you some time, and then you throw in you're in Boston. And Boston fans can be the greatest in the world, and they can be the harshest in the world. And you get off to a rough start like he did, you start pressing. You have the 2 good weeks. They're like, you're the best player in the world again, Trevor. Then you go away. Now he's back to it. Just so up and down. It's so hard to switch teams the first time.
Fights this one off, stays at 1-2.
Now after you do it the first time, and then you start bouncing around, when you get to a couple different teams, you're like, this is old hat. But the first time, it's like at any job. If you work it wherever you want to work at and then you switch jobs, it is just different. Everything's different. It could be the same job. It's just a different place, different everything. And it takes some time. He'll be fine. He has a long contract to be here. And at the end of the 6 years, the Red Sox will be very happy.
Another 1-2 pitch. Got him. And there's been a lot of that when he has struggled, not just this year, but when his struggles have happened throughout his career. A lot of chasing that stuff down and away.
The thing that surprised me, this is a good slider here by Hudson. He's just out in front, but the thing, he swings at that pitch because he's been getting beat on a lot of fastballs. Trevor Story's always been a good fastball hitter. For some reason, he's struggling on velocity, so he's trying to cheat like crazy to get to the velocity. Hudson throws him that pitch. It looks like a strike, ends up in the dirt for an easy strikeout.
Dakota Hudson, who has the lowest strikeout rate in the National League, gets his first one tonight and delivers ball 1 to Franchi Cordero. Cordero came up at the end of April, really encouraging first month or so, but is hitting just $135 over his last 16 games. So much raw talent. I mean, the tools for this guy, how hard he hits the ball, how fast he runs. It allows you to dream like teams have been doing throughout his career. First the Padres, then Kansas City, now in Boston. If you could just put it all together, I mean, there is a monster of a player there.
Who's going to be the guy? Who's going to be the guy that can figure out the right phrase, the right drill, the right saying to get him to figure out the potential that you've talked about, Joe? There's so many guys you see that have massive potential, and just will they find the right coach to unlock it?
Cordero, 27 years old now, came over as part of the Andrew Benintendi deal prior to last year. Played in a career high number of games last year because he's never played more than 48 games in a major league season. Part of that has been injury after injury, but part of it's been just what we're talking about, the inability to show much consistency when he does get a chance.
Well, he's got the body.
Oh. Alex Cora said if he had grown up in the United States, he'd probably be playing in the NFL. That kind of athletic ability. He's got a walk here to put him at first and second with one gone against Hudson.
Walks are the killer for Hudson.
Here's Bobby Dahlbeck.
Ollie Marmol said, yeah, he gives up ground balls, but you just can't walk a guy to move up the bases. Bogart's got to hit. It was a ground ball in the hole. Fine, you'll take that. But then the walk to Cordero. Now all of a sudden the tying runs at the plate. Got to get another ground ball. Hopefully it goes to somebody. You just can't walk guys.
And he has induced as many ground ball double plays as anybody in baseball. Had 4 of them in the first 4 innings in his last start. But he misses with the first pitch to Dahlbeck. It's really the perfect pitcher for the way this team is constructed when he is pounding the zone and getting those ground balls because they are so good defensively. 3 Gold Glove winners in the infield. His 1-0 pitch.
Oh, it's in.
Is inside ball 2.
Here's the thing. The last 2 hitters. He's not just missing on one side of the plate either. He's missing in, away, in, up, down, all over the place. They're going to have a team meeting out on the mound right here to try to get him back locked in.
What's your message if you're the catcher coming out?
I'm going to set up right down the middle. We're going to throw a good sinker down here. Just try to get him to roll over to Arenado or Edman on the left side. And we'll turn an easy double play. Dahlbeck's been struggling. He struggled pretty much the entire year. They don't have to worry about signs anymore. They're using the pitch comp, so they don't have to worry about the Red Sox or any other team stealing the signs. Just, hey, give me a good sinker here and let's get out of this inning.
We saw him rolling during the first inning. 9 pitches, went 1, 2, 3. Was working really quickly, like you talked about Mike Maddox pointing to as a key for him. And as the traffic is mounted here and he's lost command, he's slowed down and now tries to dig himself out of this trouble. 2 on 1 out and a 2-0 pitch coming to Bobby Dahlbeck, who's got massive power. That's a flare into center field that'll dunk in for a base hit to get the Red Sox on the board. Bobby Dahlbeck with an RBI single, and it's 3-1.
Little cutter right off the end of the bat, breaks his bat, just throws it out to center field. A great base running. Bogarts and Cordero read it perfectly. I thought Bader was going to try and throw Cordero out of third, but he made the wise choice. Goes to second base, keep the double play in order, but great base running by Cordero right there to go first to third on a guy, Bader, that has a good arm and loves to show it off.
At the corners for the Red Sox, in the 8-hitter, Jackie Bradley Jr. comes up. Back in Boston after a year away in Milwaukee. We were talking about guys that look right in the Cardinals uniform. Here's one that just looks right in the Red Sox uniform. Yeah, JBJ. Always great defensively. He's been hitting this year, though. In this month of June, Jackie Bradley's hitting above 300.
You mentioned some guys leave. He left for Milwaukee and then he was traded back. Like, don't ever leave, right? Like, just no matter what they are for you, Jackie, just stay in Boston. Like, it's where you're meant to be. It's where you play your best. It's where you do your best work.
Ground ball to second, just what that ground ball specialist is looking for. 4-6-3 double play to limit the damage to 1. You teased it. Adam Wainwright, your old battery mate, your old broadcast partner, going to join us on the other side of this break. It's 3-1 Cardinals. Cardinals in front of the Red Sox as we go to the 3rd inning. Bobby Dahlbeck getting the Red Sox on the board with a base hit. Cutter Crawford comes home and Brendan Donovan takes strike 1. As promised, joined by Adam Wainwright. Adam, how you doing?
I'm doing good, except for stinking Jack Flaherty throwing sunflower seeds at me right now.
I mean, you got enough seniority on the guy where you can tell him he can't do that, can't you?
You would think. You'd think. No respect around here. You know, I get no respect.
I guess.
Like Rodney Dangerfield. Hey, I want to say hey to my family at home. I know they're watching. They tune in just for this. So hey, guys.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. How did the, as you call, old man walk go today?
What a great place to do an old man walk.
Yeah.
Day after pitch, an old man walk. Yeah, some things you just never see about all these incredible parks we play in. You know, and today I got to walk around Fenway Park, sat in a seat that they say a home run got hit, and I just don't know how it's possible. But I guess if anybody could hit one up there, Ted Williams would be the guy to do it. But that red seat up there, it just how far is that? 570 feet? Ooh. I mean, it just seems impossible, but it's way up there. I sat in that seat, got to sit up in the green monster and go up in the press box. It was incredible.
Did he hit that off one of your high school curveballs you chuck up there?
It was 502, Adam. 502.
502?
Yeah.
I mean, is it just me, and I might make some Boston fans upset about this, is it just me, or has that thing moved back a few rows over the years? It looks like it's moved back a little bit.
Hey, AJ Przinsky, better battery mate or broadcast partner? Because you've had him for both. Strike 3 call, Donovan the first out.
I'll say this. He's a winning player in both.
Wow, what a
winning player in both.
Please refer to me as Mr. Przinsky.
Mr. Przinsky is a winning player.
Thank you.
In
hey,
both.
I just have 2 things for you. One, how did your big league impact go? I believe it was Sunday, was it not, this week?
Yep.
Your charity event,
Top golf event. Yep.
And then 2.
Boy, save it, spread it out.
Okay,
Let him answer that
let's
one.
answer the big league impact first, and then we'll get to the second question.
I'm too long-winded to ask me 2 things in a row.
Here's Goldschmidt.
It was great. We had a sold-out crowd at Topgolf for our charity Big League Impact, which we serve people who need clean water, food, shelter, those kinds of things. We do it right there in St. Louis. We also do it abroad. We also work with 72 other baseball players around Major League Baseball last year, helping them to go out and support their own charities. So we love empowering players to go out in their own communities and make a difference.
Comes a 1-0 pitch. And a strike.
See, that was very, very short and to the point. So good job, Adam.
Yeah. Sometimes I get going on stories. You know, AJ, I'll get going on stories, and then it's the second out, and you're like, dude, you can't tell stories in 2 outs.
So, and then the other thing is, are you going to play next year? Are you going to join me in the broadcast booth?
It's a great question, AJ. Everybody wants to know. I want to know too. If you hear something, let me know. You know what? I got a lot. Jack, I'm going to punch you right in the throat. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got 5 beautiful kids, a beautiful wife at home that may require my services more often. You know, I'm a professional Uber driver all the time in the off season, and that helps make the family go. You know, I mean, there just got to be so many different places at one time. You know, and it's never at the same place at the same time. I got kids in 3 different schools. If it was just about pitching, I'd pitch for a long, long time, as long as I felt like I could still go out there and compete and do well. And I was as long as I was having fun. And I'm having a blast pitching. I love pitching. I love preparing. I love going out there and competing. That's one of my favorite things in the world. Just got to make sure I don't need to compete more at home first.
Goldschmidt fouls this one off. You talk about how much fun you have in pitching. There's a lot made about you quote unquote old guys on the Cardinals, but how about all these young dudes that have come up? And it's a really interesting kind of dichotomy you guys have on this roster.
Yeah, and everybody's new favorite player, I think, is Brendan Donovan. I mean, this guy is such a stud baseball player, does everything right, works hard. And then you got a guy like Gorman come up here and hit absolute tank bombs at any moment. But you know, we've been impressed. That's a good thing about having those good young players to come up and help. Man, they're hungry. They're ready. We got a few guys that are ready to come up here, and so we need them. They're doing great.
Guy at the plate's not too bad either.
No, he's not too bad. No, when Goldie gets going, there's not many people in the game that can hit like him and find the barrel. He's one of the best guys to find a barrel in every at bat. He's doing. Here's a comparison though. Somebody asked me like, what was it like when Albert was in his prime?
A little pop left side, Devers. Go ahead, Adam.
I jinxed that, didn't I?
No,
I jinxed the stew out of that.
No.
Somebody said, what was it like playing with Albert in his prime? And I said, you know how Goldie's doing this year? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, you know, he's hitting like 350 with a bunch of home runs, a bunch of RBIs. I'm like, yeah. Like, It was like that for 10 years.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just so special to watch. But that's that's the kind of talent Goldie has. He's going out there and he can carry a lineup when he's going well, and he's been going well all year.
2 gone for Arenado, who takes strike 1.
Well, since inquiring minds want to know, I know you're a big fantasy football player. Who's a better commissioner, you or Mike Trout?
I don't know his commissioner skills, but I don't doubt Mike Trout in any way, shape, or form. He's probably great at it. But I will say this: I know Tommy Pham very well. I don't know Jock that well, just from playing against him, but I know Tommy real well. Tommy's very intense. He's going to take it serious now. You know, he does everything 100% all the time, and if he feels like something's not just right, perfect, then he might have a problem with it. But that goes with anything.
Arenado down swinging. That's way too quick of an inning that your guys just had for you, Adam.
It always happens when I'm on here.
Jeez. Hey, it's great having you. Continued success.
Thanks for talking to you guys.
Nine 1-2 for the Red Sox here in the 3rd inning. The catcher, Kevin Plawecki, takes ball 1 from Dakota Hudson. Plawecki 1 for 13 in the month of June. Christian Vasquez still getting the majority of the starts. Plawecki getting 1 here with the day game coming tomorrow, and Vasquez will be back in. 3-1 St. Louis, last of the 3rd. And Hudson again falls behind 3-0 in the 9-hitter. Duran endeavors to follow. Strike 1.
As a catcher, we mentioned when he got the double play. As a catcher, see 141, just say, Dakota, please just don't walk. Like, nothing worse. Like, if he hits a home run, great.
Man, a leadoff walk to the 141 hitting 9-hitter. And back to the top of the order, and Jarren Duran. We're talking about the veteran players for the Cardinals. Albert Pujols, the only active player from the '99 draft, 13th round pick in 1999. And then these guys, Molina and Waino, the only active players from the 2000 draft. Of course, Adam Wainwright was drafted in the 1st round by the Atlanta Braves, later traded to the Cardinals, where he has linked up time after time with Molina.
Three guys that were homegrown. I know Waino was drafted by the Braves, but he came over in the minor leagues in a trade. So 3 pretty good minor league developmental players for the Cardinals, and both those guys will have their numbers retired by the Cardinals, and both probably will end up in Cooperstown.
1-0 on Duran. So Molina on the injured list right now. He'd been battling through a sore knee, and it just got to the point where it was too much for him. Did everything he could, every kind of treatment that he could come up with to get back in the field, but they decided it was best to shut him down for a little bit. They don't think that it's going to be too long, but it just got to the point where they didn't have a choice. So pretty soon they're going to move into 2nd place for the most combined starts together. Wainwright and Molina. They get the lead man at 2nd here. 317th game together, their next one, which will break a tie with Warren Spahn and Del Crandall for the 2nd most all time. The record 324. Mickey Lolich, Bill Freehan in Detroit. They've got a great chance to break that.
Yachty better get back. If they want to catch that, what does he need, 8 more to catch that one?
Yeah,
there's time, but if he misses a few weeks. Listen, every time Adam Wainwright pitches, he wants Yachty or Molina behind the plate. So if there's a chance and Waino's out there, Yachty will be behind the plate if he can.
Rafael Devers. Ouch.
Carlos Febles took it off the ankle. He's trying to act like it didn't hurt, but that hurt.
Well, that's baseball code. You got to act like you're fine, right? Yeah, straighten it out, he says.
I was joking with Carlos about his gray beard. We played against each other all the way back to rookie ball, He was with the Royals. I was with the Twins, and was joking about his gray beard. And he said, "I'm still quick though." And then he takes one off the shin.
108 miles an hour, by the way. Playing it off like it didn't hurt one bit. Devers flies one to center field. Back goes Bader with room. Duran thought about testing him, but he'll hold on at first. 2 away.
And how good was that play by Harrison Bader? Goes unnoticed, much like the inning before where he threw the ball to second, kept the double play in order. He gets behind this ball. Duran can fly. Watch him get behind this ball. Backpedals, gets behind it, sets his feet, knows there's a possibility of attack, and then just throws a rocket right on target. Shuts Duran down, keeps him at first, keeps him out of scoring position. Just a very fundamental play by Harrison Bader in center field.
One of the 5 Gold Glovers out there for the Cardinals. 3-1 game, 2 gone for J.D. Martinez, who flied to center his first time. He fouls off the first pitch from Hudson. But they've been calling J.D. Ichiro. His teammates have giving him a hard time. The average exceptional, but he hasn't hit for J.D. Martinez like power and Ichiro.
That's not an insult.
That's the nicest insult. You stink, you Hall of Famer. Nobody's ever called you that, have they?
Well, no, but I'm okay with that because Ichiro is way better than I'm a player than I ever was. So you look down, you say, you see his home runs, but he's still got a 980 OPS.
Right.
It's not like he's just up there slapping the ball and taking singles. He's still hitting doubles. He's still got some home runs, and he's still a threat.
And the same conversation we were having earlier about Nolan Arenado. He is a really tough critic on himself, perfectionist. He says he's kind of been searching for that feel for a lot of this season.
He's found it though.
Yeah, I mean those 3 home runs over the last 7 games we just showed, it's coming. For the 4-time All-Star and the last of that 5-year contract. He grounds this one to third. Hudson doing what he likes to do. A lot of balls pounded into the ground. And after 3 innings, he's got a 3-1 lead. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. And by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Back in Boston. Cardinals have a 3-1 lead as we go to the top of the 4th inning. And Bobby Dahlbeck, the Red Sox first baseman, wearing an earpiece, mic'd up for us. Bobby, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Trying to get a few more runs.
Strike 1 on Nolan Gorman.
Yeah, we just need to string some good at-bats together, get back in this thing.
You knocked in the only run of the game. It had to feel good, help your team out.
Yeah, I felt great. Broke a bat, died a hero.
A little bit high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
What you're thinking right here?
What's that?
Lefty up, lefty up. Cutter's going to throw some cutters in. Are you ready for this ground ball?
Yeah.
Do you cheat a little bit when you see a lefty coming up, knowing that the guy, your pitcher, is throwing cutters in most of the time? Do you cheat towards the line? Anything?
No, I kind of just try to, I always try to expect the ball. The ball's coming to me, but lefties, maybe I'll shade a step.
Fly to deep center field. Back goes Duran at the wall. It's gone. Nolan Gorman with a leadoff home run, and St. Louis leads it 4-1.
This is bad luck.
Hey, can't blame us, Bobby. Just got a ball up.
Yeah, that's what I forgot. That kid's, he's got a lot of juice. I think he was supposed to be a wildcat too.
I was waiting for how long it would take for you to get Arizona. That was just a sinker up, ball up.
Yeah.
Even with the wind blowing in, it didn't stop that ball.
Here is Tyler O'Neill now taking a ball. There's obviously no defense for that. But what has it felt like? I mean, the numbers say one thing, and the eye test for fans and broadcaster says another thing about your defense being much improved. Has it felt that much better this year?
Yeah, just get more comfortable. Last year was my first like true full season playing first base aside from my freshman year of college. So I think the biggest thing was just getting more comfortable with the footwork around the bag and a couple of the more intricate plays on double plays and everything.
Tyler O'Neill, 2 balls, no strikes, takes ball 3. How about for the team as a whole defensively?
Teams, I mean, we worked really hard in spring training, and we get all of our hand drills, done behind the scenes with that little turf area we got, and take ground balls every day. We really take pride in it.
3-1.
Do you get lonely over there with all by yourself on the first base side with no one close to you?
Yeah, I feel like I have the whole entire, from in between first and second base all to myself. Gotta make sure I can get over the bag sometimes.
One out. Nice catch, Bobby.
Right on cue, right on cue. It's a long run, longer run than you'd think.
So now, when you go in the dugout after this inning, you were talking about your footwork and everything. Are you going to give Carlos Febles a little bit of after he took that ground ball off his shin?
Did he wear one?
Yeah. 108 off the bat of Rafi.
Franchi hit one towards the dugout last night. It split my shin open in the second inning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Think you're getting the night off. That is a strike on Carlson.
Yeah, it never feels good. Never feels good, especially in the shin.
Carlson knocked home a run with a double his first time up.
Now, Bobby, did they? Does Trevor Story or Bogey or anybody whistle or give you anything a heads up like, hey, here comes a pitch into these lefties, or are you kind of just reading the catcher?
I try to always expect the ball is coming to me and not have to rely on them. Give them more stuff to do. Already they're already up in the middle of the infield, so I kind of just expect the ball is coming to me every time and try to read the swing. Maybe cheat in certain counts that that our pitchers throw off speed in, and other than that, I just really try to be ready for the ball every time.
Comes a 1-2 pitch to Carlson, fouled back.
See, if I was playing first, I'd want to know. I'd look at Trevor behind me over my right shoulder, because I don't know if he has a earpiece in or not, but some of the middle infielders have the earpiece for the pitch comm. Just give you, hey, Bobby,
He's got it. Sometimes it's tough here. It gets so loud here. Kike always go ready, Bob, pretty loud whenever he was playing second last year. Trevor will give me a little and Royo does the same thing for me.
No stadium can drown out Kike Hernandez.
No, not at all.
2-2 to Carlson is a little bit inside ball 3.
Yeah, I asked that, Joe, because obviously I was a catcher, Bobby, and but I would take ground balls goofing around. I was scared to death of the ball.
It's different. It was super weird going from third base my whole life and coming over here. The ground ball just felt completely different to me until about halfway through the season last year. Just seeing the game from a different side of from the field.
Three-2 comes home. Carlson. Get to the bag, Bobby. 2 out. A little shorter run that time.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a little different though, right? Because the ball's coming behind you, so you have to turn all the way around.
Yeah,
that's the footwork you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a play in Tampa earlier this year. Trev made a really good play, and I kind of spun the other way. It's a ball I probably could have picked, and it kind of just beat me just because I had to get my whole body around.
So you like turning inside towards the field, or that one you kind of turned outside?
If it's a tough play, if it's like a fast developing play, I'll try to obviously just have to get there as quick as I can. And if it's past second, like on my side of second base, I try to turn the other way.
Harrison Bader's up there, fouls him back.
Just because I feel like if the ball is in the dirt, it's easier to, my glove's already closer to the ball. And it's easier for me to work from right to left than it is from left to right. So I try to work on that. Do a lot of pick drills that way, and kind of with my head turned, not knowing where the ball is. And just try to get my head around and find it as quick as I can.
0-2. Lifted to left. Back goes Cordero. He leaps and can't get it. And Bader can fly. He'll settle into second. The board with 2 out. And it is ruled a double.
Cordero, this is where the green monster scares you, Joe. He thought he was up against it. Probably should have had it. But you get so close to that wall and you feel it in your back, and he jumped a little bit early and just clanked off his glove.
So a 2-out chance for Andrew Kisner in a 4-1 game in the 4th. Popped out his first time, 2 of his last 38 now. He grounds one to the hole at short. Long throw coming to Bobby. That's the inning. We appreciate you, Bobby.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
He has on the end of 3 ground ball outs. 4-1. Cardinals have one in the home run from Gorman. Xander Bogaerts had a nice play to finish off the top of this inning. He leads off the bottom of the 4th. Singled and scored Boston's run. First one from Dakota Hudson. Misses away. Well, it looked like it found the zone, but catcher was set up inside. Didn't get the call reaching over there.
And why does it matter?
It shouldn't, right?
A strike is a strike, right?
Spoken like a catcher, but yeah.
No, spoken
like a rule book.
No, spoken like a catcher that complained a lot. Why does it matter how I catch the ball?
You probably cost your pitchers so many strikes with your complaining.
Oh, cost myself a lot of money getting ejected too.
3-0. Hudson's issued a couple walks, including the leadoff man last inning. And this is an excellent play that Bogaerts made to finish off last inning.
Not only excellent, but look how easy he made it look. Just the flick of the wrist, put his feet. The key to that play was he got around the ball, got his feet set. Yes, he jumped, but his body was in line, and he just flicked the ball over there. Perfectly throw right to Dahlbeck. 3rd out.
Strike 2.
See, it doesn't matter how you catch it, Joe.
I guess.
If you miss it, it's a strike.
The count goes full on Bogaerts.
And Bogaerts right now is saying to the home plate umpire, look, man, if he can't catch it, it can't be a strike. He's thinking it's a slider, cutter, front door, just.
Story and Cordero to follow in this 4th inning for the Red Sox. A 3-2 pitch and a strike on the outside corner to get him. For more on Bogaerts and these Red Sox defensively, here's Kenny.
Well, Joe, we just showed that play, and the question with Bogaerts has been his range. He's entering his age 30 season next year, and if he opts out, that's the question that's going to come up when he is a free agent. But at the same time, you guys mentioned this before, what he means to this franchise is something that cannot really be measured. What if you keep Xander Bogaerts at shortstop? You have Trevor Story, who has emerged as an elite defensive second baseman. That's a pretty good middle infield for the next several years. Now, there is a lot of other things going into this equation. One, Rafael Devers also is up, not after this year, but after next year. And then there's the free agent market of shortstops coming up. Carlos Correa can also opt out. Trey Turner is a free agent, as is Dansby Swanson.
Here's an 0-1 to Story, who chases, and it's 0-2. And this isn't just a good player for the Red Sox and Xander Bogaerts. This is a guy who has played more games at short than anybody in Red Sox history. He broke a record that had stood for 100 years.
He's a rock, too. He is a rock. He plays every day. He hits in the middle of the order, gives you quality at bats. I mean, I would love to see him finish his career as a Red Sox, but one of the reasons they brought Trevor Story over was in case Bogaerts walks, he's there. They already have a built-in replacement. Let's not forget, J.D. Martinez is a free agent too. So the Red Sox have some decisions.
1-2 on Story. Those decisions will fall on this man's plate. Chaim Bloom, the chief baseball officer. In the case of Xander Bogaerts, he came up during that 2013 World Series run that ended with a win over the Cardinals. Story pokes one to right. Carlson will play it in a bounce and a one-out hit for Story. And when Bogaerts came up, yeah, the talented kid, but he was just trying to fit in. You had the superstars. You had Big Papi and Pedroia. And then as he started to emerge, Mookie Betts came onto the scene. And so he was still a little bit overshadowed. But as the pieces have turned over, he's gone from being the overshadowed and really underappreciated across baseball player to the leader of this team, the face of the team, and one of those guys it's hard to envision somewhere else. One out for Franchy Cordero.
I'll never forget. After 2013, they won the World Series. I was a free agent. I signed with the Red Sox. Jake Peavy calls me and says, this shortstop kid is going to be one of the best players in baseball. Just you've got to see him every day. And at the time, I think Bogaerts played third base when they won the World Series in 2013. And then they were moving him to short in 2014. But you could see the potential. Now, he struggled a little bit early in 2014. He had some struggles defensively, but this kid has it all. He's not a kid anymore. He was a kid back then, but you could see the potential. He asked the right questions. He worked his tail off every day. He wants to be special, and if you look at his career, it has been special.
2-0 pitch to a guy with a lot of power. He is grounded to first. This will be a tag play at second, but it hits Story. So they get the out at first, but Story is safe, and the inning extends.
This is the right play by Goldschmidt. Takes him to the bag, steps on it, replaces his feet. And just unlucky. It hits Dome Story right in the 10. Tough throw because Goldschmidt knows he has to hurry. Story can run. So he's got to get rid of it. Not an error. Just ideally, you'd like the first baseman to be able to clear inside towards home plate, get some room. But because of the nature of the runner, it's hard for him to clear space.
Here's our friend Bobby Dahlbeck. Appreciate him joining us at the top of this inning, wearing the microphone and the earpiece for us. He's knocked in Boston's only run with a single in the second inning. Broken bat flare in the center. It's Dahlbeck's first start since Tuesday. Franchy Cordero has been starting most days at first base and usually does against right-handed pitchers, but that's all they're facing at this point in this run this week. So Dahlbeck getting the start today against a righty. On a 1-0 pitch. He takes it low, ball 2.
Well, also Alex Cora wanted to give Verdugo the day off, so if he takes Verdugo out of the lineup, that means Dahlbeck has to play first because that moves Cordero to the outfield. So one piece leads to another, Joe.
Dahlbeck's seen some signs of coming to life lately. Last 10 games he's hitting above 300. Slugging numbers have increased for a guy who hit 25 home runs as a rookie last year. He's ahead 3-0. That was a year where he came into it with just monster expectations after he hit 8 home runs in 23 games in 2020 and then led the majors in home runs during spring training to pile on top of those expectations. But he had a horrible first half. Bobby has said since that the pressure and the criticism that followed the slow start got to him. Saved that season with a monster finish. A little smaller leg kick, a little more selective, and took off over the final couple months, but yet to repeat that here in 22.
Well, they're hoping he repeats the second half like he did at the end last year and gets the power stroke back. It's funny though, you come up, you have success. Everyone's telling you how great you are, and then all of a sudden you don't have it. You got to find it again.
Looks like Ryan Brazier ready for the 5th inning. Crawford's thrown 85 pitches. Count goes full on Dahlbeck.
See, that's a pitch I'd like to see him. It's 3-1. You've got to be ready for that pitch right there. 3-1. You're probably going to get a sinker. You know Hudson's not going to want to walk you. This ball's pretty much center cut, maybe a little outer half. But that's a good ball. 3-1 to go on. Now you bring so many other pitches into play for Hudson.
Story at second, 2 away. 3-2 pitch to Bobby Dahlbeck is fouled off. Dakota Hudson this season in these situations has been lights out. League hitting 136 with runners in scoring position. A lot of the numbers don't add up to a good pitcher. Lowest strikeout rate in the league, third highest walk rate in the league. But he gets a lot of ground balls to induce a lot of double plays, and he makes pitches when he has to. Trying to make one here. Another 3-2 is fouled off again.
You said it, the key stat. We saw it already in this game, the double plays. He has the ability in any jam he's in to throw one pitch, get 2 outs, and get out of an inning. Seemed like the Red Sox were threatening. They had first and third. Jackie Bradley Jr. up 1 out. Boom, double plays out of the inning. That's the number. If you're Ollie Marmol, the Cardinals, that's the number you want to see.
Digging deep against Dahlbeck. Here's the 8th pitch.
Oh, it's in.
Inside ball 4, his 3rd walk.
Little slider, it misses. It's a great take though, because that's so close. Try to bring it back, but just never. As the umpire will tell you in your ear as a catcher, Joe, went around the plate. Then I tell him you ain't that good.
So the 2-out chance belongs to Jackie Bradley Jr. Grounded into a double play his first time, takes ball 1. It didn't go around my plate, not the plate I'm looking at, right? The Red Sox looking for their 13th win in 16 games in June. Trying to move to 26-11 since early May. On a 1-0 pitch, Bradley takes ball 2. Offense has scored 6 runs per game in that time. They were 28th in the majors in runs over the first month. And you look at the guys in the lineup and it's like, how? You knew that at some point they were going to collectively hit better. They certainly have, leading the majors of those 6 runs per game the last month plus. On a 2-0, Bradley takes ball 3.
And here come the walks again, right? Now, he hasn't walked Jackie Bradley Jr. yet, but the walk to Dahlbeck with 2 outs. Now he's 3-0 to Jackie Bradley Jr. He walked Pilecki his first at bat. Like, this is where you just need to make one pitch, get out of the inning. You're costing yourself pitches. You're turning the lineup over again.
Oh, it's up.
A 4-pitch walk, and all 4 walks, AJ, have come against the bottom of the order. Here comes Mike Maddox for a visit. Bases now loaded for Kevin Plawecki. We were talking earlier about Alex Cora, the magic touch, the magic shaving cream, razor. 10-19 start, 3 runs a game during that time. Something's got to change. Clean shave, new team.
He looks about 10 years younger at least, too, by the way.
That may be because he's sleeping better because the team's hitting and they're winning games.
Absolutely. Oh, he's checking himself out on Big Poppy's phone right now.
Going to get a little better view of this big at bat for the 9-hitter and catcher.
What do you think that conversation was as we see the record? They went 25-11. They lost 4 games in the standings.
Jeez.
But what do you think Poppy and Alex Cora are talking about right there? David's like, give me an at bat right here.
Yeah.
Look, he's like, come on, give me a bat. I can still run up there and maybe hit a grand slam.
Pulled up his baseball reference page. Says, check out my bases loaded stats. Plawecki, the struggling catcher, takes ball 1. He walked his first time. And in this case, there's nowhere to put him for Hudson, who can't seem to find the strike zone. Back-to-back 2-out walks to the 7 and 8 hitters to load the bases. What a time this would be for Kevin Plawecki to break out of this slump. Bases loaded, 2 gone, 1-0 pitch. Plawecki takes ball 2.
Take. If I'm Plawecki, that's 6 in a row, 7 in a row. You just got to try to take one here. If I'm, now he's probably swing, just because of the aggressiveness of baseball, 3-0 count, whatever, swing. But this would be an auto take.
3-0 on the 9-hitter.
So he's missed in, up, away. Last 3 pitches. 6 different 3-0 counts already in this game.
His 3rd consecutive walk, and it brings home a run. Maddening if you're the Cardinals. They go to the bullpen phone. Nobody warming until this call. And now it's back to the top of the order, and Jarren Duran with the bases still juiced.
So the ultimate question, do you take one here if you're Duran?
Got to, don't you? Or
9
do
in
you
a
say
row.
he's bound to throw one down the middle, unload? He took it, strike 1.
Yeah, but that was a good pitch. That was a backdoor breaking ball. Tip your cap. You tip your cap to Hudson. But yeah, wow, yeah.
Drew Verhagen starting to warm. Red Sox hoping it's too late. Duran fouls it off, and it's 0-2. I mean, you walk 7, 8, and 9 all over the place, and then come back and go 0-2 on the leadoff guy.
And throw 2 really quality pitches.
Right. That's why I say maddening.
Oh, it has. Mike Maddox, Ollie Marmol, and the Cardinals dugout have to just want to pull their hair out. This guy's stuff is incredible. Just get ground balls.
Dahlbeck at 3rd, Bradley at 2nd, Plawecki at 1st. And 0-2 to the rookie Jarren Duran is low. Duran's given him a nice spark this week in his 3rd call up. Tripled to open last night's game, had a bunt single to open a game earlier this week. Has the tying run in scoring position, the go-ahead run aboard, and then he waits on a 1-2 that misses way in.
This has got to be the pitch where Hudson gets him. You don't want to go 0-2 to 3-2 after 3 consecutive walks, because he will probably get a little bit nervous 3-2, and I don't know that I love his chances to throw a strike if he gets to 3-2 here.
On 2-2, Duran fouls it off. These are the batting averages on the guys that he's walked tonight. 2 to Plawecki. One of them with the bases loaded here.
He's clearly, we all know he's not trying to walk anybody, but there's got to be a point where you tell your catcher, set up right down the middle. I'm throwing a 2-seamer right down the middle, and just let it eat.
Another 2-2. A bouncing ball to 3rd. Arenado steps into it. Low throw. Close play, but he's out. Duran can fly, and he made that bang bang at first. But it's just in time, and they limit the damage to 1.
Looking for more stats? Just ask Siri, who leads MLB in home runs.
It's an easy one, isn't it, AJ? Well, it is now.
It seems like he hits one every day, though. Aaron Judge.
25 of them. Yankees won again today. Top of the order for the Cardinals. New pitcher for the Red Sox, Ryan Brazier. Dakota Hudson has given up just 2 runs, even with those 5 walks. So Brazier replaces Crawford in a 4-2 game. Tommy Edman, who's 0 for 2, takes low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Brazier was good early in the year. He struggled lately. Too many home runs. Fastball, slider. Slider's been good. The fastball's been getting hit pretty hard. Just got to keep the ball in the ballpark. He needs to give them quality innings right here. Keep the score. Give them their offense a chance, which we've mentioned has been hot.
Big bouncer up the middle. Story ranging to his right with a jump throw. Highlight play, Trevor Story. Only the latest.
Great play. See the athleticism. It's an ex-shortstop playing second base. Plenty of arm strength, plenty of range. He's got to think, man, this is a short throw from second base compared to the whole shortstop.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little fun with this one. One of the best defensive second basemen in the game retires another. Even with Tommy Edman moving to shortstop, the reigning Gold Glove winner at second. These guys have sort of flip-flopped, I guess, in what they're doing positionally this year. One gone. Brendan Donovan takes ball one from Brazier. Brendan Donovan, born in Germany. His father was stationed there for his post in the Army, and Brendan bounced around growing up before settling in Alabama. That's where he went to college at South Alabama. 7th round draft pick out of there. Never a big time prospect. In fact, just last year he was in A-ball to start the year. Climbed to AAA by the end of the year. Hit above 300. On base of 400. And then had a big performance in the Arizona Fall League where he really jumped onto the Cardinals' radar. And everybody was talking about him in spring training. He's a guy that Adam Wainwright calls a dirt ball. Because by the end of the game, he's always covered in dirt and grass stains, and kind of guy you want. Just a little bit low. 3-1.
Grinder. Right? Grinder, baseball player, whatever you want to call him. There's a million names for him, but you know when you see one, you just know he's a baseball player. Gives you a professional at bat.
So versatile for him, too. He started at 6 different positions. He's batted in all 9 spots in the order. Takes the walk here. With 1 away in the 5th. Time for a game break. We check in with Chris Myers. All right, Chris, here's Paul Goldschmidt. How about those Guardians? Winners of 14 of their last 17 within a game of first.
They're making a run.
And then the Dodgers have dropped 10 of their last 16. They've not been hitting. 26th in the majors in runs in that 6-10 stretch.
I think that's the biggest surprise. The Dodgers not hitting. Look at their lineup. Freeman, Betts, Turner, Muncy, Smith, Justin Turner. It's an all-star lineup. But the Guardians, they might have to be probably the surprise of Major League Baseball at this point.
Yeah.
No, besides the Yankees, who just never lose. Aaron Judge hits a home run, the Yankees never lose. It's like every day.
They won their 9th straight today, 16th out of the last 17. Brazier pausing for an eternity. Somebody do something.
He's waiting for the Yankees to lose.
Yeah, well, you're going to keep waiting. I mean, it's amazing. The Red Sox have had this stretch where they've played great baseball. They're 14 games back.
Yeah. But we had this conversation. What, do you just give up on the division if you're the Red Sox? You look up, Green Monster has the scoreboard and the standings, and you see 14. And you're thinking, can we catch them? Yeah, they haven't updated.
They're in denial, but
yeah, Joe, get out there official. And update that. But do you give up on the division and say, okay, we just got to go for a wild card at this point? Because I don't know that they're possible to catch.
Goldschmidt down on strikes. 2 gone in the 5th. But I guess my counter to that would be, what does that mean? Like, how does that change? Given the new playoff system where there are 3 wild card teams and you just want to get in, how does that change? Well, you're not coming to the park trying less hard because you're 14 games out and you're not going to win the division.
No, but we already showed the management of the Red Sox, Chaim Bloom. Does it change if you make a bigger trade for somebody because you know you have to go an extra round? Does it change the mindset of the front office and where you are? If you're the Yankees and you're 14 games up right now, or 11 games in front of the Blue Jays, is there a move they can make to make them that much better to really put them over the top for the World Series, which both of these organizations, the Red Sox and the Yankees, are all about? Nothing less than that is a good year.
So if you're the Yankees, you can look at this and double down on it and say, let's, put the pedal down, go get somebody. Red Sox, you feeling good? It's like you got a 9, right? You're playing blackjack, you got a 9. It's like, okay, good, but I'm not doubling down.
The one thing it has changed, though, is it's best 2 out of 3 for the wild card round. So you're not just having the 1-game playoff where you go all in, you get 1 game, you lose, you go home. You're like, man, we wasted our prospects for 1 game.
Arenado flies this ball to center field for Duran. And we are halfway home here at Fenway Park. The Cardinals with a 4-2 lead on Baseball Night in America. Rafael Devers leading off the 5th for Boston. He took a ball high and inside from Dakota Hudson. 0 for 2 tonight after 2 hits in the first game of this series.
Outside.
He's ahead here 2-0, which is more the same for Dakota Hudson, who has issued a career high 5 walks. And flirting with trouble here, falling behind this guy. Hudson home 2-0, fouled off.
Huge inning here for Hudson. 5th inning. Team has a 2-run lead. Middle of the order up for the Red Sox. Heart of the order. 3 guys they want up. Can he throw enough strikes? And can he get through this inning?
Verhagen continues to warm as Hudson continues to fall behind. 3-1. Martinez and Bogaerts to follow. Rafael Devers starting the 5th. Count goes full.
We showed Alex Cora's beard and it was gray. He shaved it off. If Dakota Hudson keeps pitching like this, Ollie Marmol, he's going to have gray in his beard too. Going to have to shave it off at some point. Like it's going to look like Mike Maddox, the pitching coach.
Swing and a miss. 3rd K for Hudson. 1 gone in the 5th. The 146th Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, sponsored by Purina Pro Plan, begins with the Masters Agility Championship tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Who's the favorite?
That one.
That one.
Yeah. Yeah, that looked like a good one.
Yeah.
Like
Do you have a dog?
I don't. No, you?
I have 2.
Yeah. Martinez.
Oh, it's out.
A little bit away. Ball 1. Put him in any competitions? The show dogs?
No.
No.
No. Lab and Lab Noah and Pomsky Eve.
They sound lovely.
Oh, they're something.
So 1-0 and a strike. Martinez 0 for 2 today. All the traffic for the Red Sox has come from the bottom of the order. All 5 walks that Hudson has issued have come from the bottom of the order. Top 3 combined 0 for 8. Now the ground is short. Took a big bounce on Edman, but he was still able to corral it. 2 away. Tommy Edman, Gold Glover at second base, has moved over to short and been tremendous there as well.
This is a really nice play. This ball jumps. Top spun, almost jumps over his head, but Edman keeps his feet aligned. Nice stretch by Goldschmidt. See, that ball has top spin off the bat of Martinez. Second hop just goes really high. Not what you're expecting. A lot of times as an infielder, you're taught to work down to up. Well, that one was almost over his head.
Xander Bogaerts taking ball 1. In shortstop's position, Tommy's played for much of his life, growing up in La Jolla, California, down near San Diego. A lot of his time at Stanford was at short, and even coming up to the minors. He is there with Paul DeYoung's recent demotion. Nolan Gorman playing second base a lot of days. And they've not missed a beat. On a 1-1 pitch, Bogaerts fouls it back, going way up the ladder for that one. 1-2.
We've shown why, if you're Dakota Hudson, just get him to hit it on the ground. Between Arenado, Edman, Goldschmidt, their whole infield is just unbelievable range. Everything they do is just above average. Please hit it on the ground to one of these guys.
1-2. Tap foul. They're the best infield defense in the majors. You get a 9-time Gold Glover at third, 9 consecutive Gold Gloves for Arenado. Edman won a Gold Glove at second last year. Over at first base, Goldschmidt's won 4. Last year, the first team in big league history to have 5 Gold Glovers. Another 1-2 is banged on the ground towards the middle. That one will scoot through. Second hit of the game for Xander Bogaerts.
Almost right on cue. Almost had another great play. Donovan tried to get it. Just perfect placement. Kind of a semi shift. Another top spun ground ball. Donovan tries. Probably would have had no play even if he gets to it. Just the effort. And then watch Edman just go chase this ball down and keep Bogaerts from going to second.
Because he was thinking about it.
He was thinking about it. You could see out of the box. As soon as he saw it hit Edman's foot, he's like, all right, there's a chance. But Edman just goes and gets it and holds him to first.
Gets the tying run to the plate with 2 gone here in the 5th. Trevor Story. 9 home runs, all coming in a 16-game stretch in May. Takes down the pipe, strike 1. 1 for 2 tonight. Had a bloop single the other way. Came in to score last inning. It's a guy who in his 6 seasons with the Rockies was 6th in home runs. He was 5th in stolen bases. At his best. So exciting, so well rounded. And an 0-1 pitch. He takes low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 29 years old, 7th season. It's a first-round pick of the Rockies. Spent his first 6 years there. Hit .290. Average at 186. That's against fastballs. And that is the worst in the majors, that 186 against heaters. Chops this one to third, backs up his old teammate Arenado, who goes to second and ends the 5th. Back at Fenway Park. Cardinals trying to even this series up at a game apiece after the Red Sox took game 1 6-5. 4-2 St. Louis to the 6th inning. Third pitcher for Boston is Hanzo Robles. Got off to a great start this year, AJ. Didn't give anything up through his first 8 games, but he's had a rocky last month.
Well, they tried him at closer. He was in some late inning leverage, high leverage situations. Was off to a great start. As soon as he kind of blew one, kind of lost a little confidence, lost a little bit of momentum. Now he's back trying to find it for Alex Cora. Fastball, slider, changeup. You saw right there, he kind of quick pitch Gorman. Before he's ready, he'll change up his cadence, change up his pitching motion.
He's facing a guy who came up to the majors with a reputation of hitting the ball really hard and really far, and that's exactly what he did in the 4th inning.
We didn't really get to talk about it because we were talking to Bobby Dahlbeck, but this ball was crushed.
Yeesh.
440 feet dead center.
Number 4 of his brief big league career.
Every home run he's hit has gone over 400 feet. Really, really strong.
Guy that just turned 22. And a 1-2.
Oh, it's out.
Just outside. Count evens up. First round pick 2018 at a high school in Phoenix. A year ago as a 20 and 21 year old. AA and AAA, and he hit 25 bombs. Makes a different sound coming off his bat. On a 2-2 from Robles. Gorman tries to lay off a back foot breaker, but he went around. 1 away in the 6th inning. Time for another game break. Here's Chris Myers. Those Angels have lived 2 seasons in 1. They're the hot story over the first month. This ball's crushed to center field by O'Neill. Back it goes. Gone. Tyler O'Neill, after hitting 34 home runs last year, has been searching for it for a lot of 22. He just connected with his 4th right there. And the 3rd of the game for St. Louis.
Just an absolute line drive blast from O'Neill. He's ready. First pitch. Gets one center cut. He knows it right away. Little slider, didn't do a whole lot.
A ball on Carlson.
Like you said, he's been looking to find it. He was injured. He had a shoulder problem there for a while, Joe. Affects everything in your game. Went down, got a bunch of at bats, came back up, and that is a great sight if you're a Cardinal fan.
Heart of the order. Looking like it tonight. Arenado, Gorman, and O'Neill, 4, 5, and 6, all going deep. That bounces in there. 2-0 on Carlson, who has heated up himself. Slow start. A little bit like last year. Not very good first half. Had a great finish. And Carlson this year, not a very good first month. Started to heat up, injured his hamstring, missed a couple weeks, but has continued to trend upward since coming back from that.
A lot of times guys have those nagging injuries. They go down, they get them fixed. They come back. It's like a fresh start in your mind. And your body feels better. Those things are gone.
All 4.
4-pitch walk. Carlson on for the 2nd time tonight. Checking with Ken Rosenthal.
Guys, it's rather amazing the way the Cardinals keep churning out players. We're going to have a break right here. 12 of the players on their current 26-man roster are players they drafted. 3 others are players they signed as international amateurs. That's 15 of the 26. I'm not even counting Yadi Molina, who is on the injured list but was drafted by the Cardinals. Adam Wainwright and Juan Yepez, whom the Cardinals acquired as minor leaguers and essentially are homegrown players in a sense as well. What they are doing, guys, yearly is amazing.
Now, we talked about it earlier. I mean, you got the veteran players that are on this somewhat of a farewell tour. We saw Pujols honored tonight, Molina and Wainwright, but you've got a 22-year-old in Gorman who went deep. Dylan Carlson, 23. Tyler O'Neill, not an old player. He doesn't turn 27 until Wednesday this week. Got a rookie in Brendan Donovan. Out there taking a look at Robles right now. I was going to say, let me throw 1 or 2, see how I feel. It's the last pitch that he threw. Sox didn't like what they saw.
Well, they came out right away. Don't see anything there. Thumbs up. But back to Ken's point, it really is amazing. The Cardinals have done this for years. They always have homegrown guys they draft, develop, bring up. Every time you look at him, you're like, who is this guy? And the Cardinals know. They bring him up. He comes out and he does something great for them. As we see the list of their rookies, but all these guys have contributed to a team that's in first place.
Well, yeah, we talk about the position players, but they've gotten huge help from 3 rookie pitchers in the rotation as they've dealt with all kinds of injuries there. Jack Flaherty just made his season debut this week. Matz and Hicks both on the IL. But guys like Liberatore and Thompson and Palante have made starts and been very important. Harrison Bader looks at ball 1 from Robles.
Well, look at their lineup. Edman, Donovan, Gorman, O'Neill, Carlson, Bader, Kinsler. They're all homegrown guys. They're all guys that came up through the Cardinals system.
Bader 1 out of 2 with a double. Ahead 2-0.
And then you look at Flaherty, Hudson, Wainwright, all guys they develop, right? It really is an organization that has something special, especially for development.
It all works in concert, right? The people that go and scout, the drafting department, then you get them into the system. What do you do with them then? And then you get to the big league level. All separate departments that got to work together. 3-0.
You go play for the Cardinals, they talk about the Cardinal way. I never figured out what the Cardinal way was. I asked a lot of people. what the Cardinal way was. No one could tell me. The only thing they said is it's winning baseball, and that's what the Cardinals have done year in and year out, is win their division, win playoff games, and they've won a lot of World Series.
11 of them, only the Yankees more. First strike that he's thrown since the home run. Snaps a 7-ball slide. That's in there, and the count goes full. Cardinals last year 90-72. They had the 17-game winning streak in September to reach the postseason. Mike Shildt, though, let go after the wild card loss. First place here in the first year under Ollie Marmol. That's a tapper along the left side. If it stays fair, no chance to get Bader, and it will. Infield hit for Harrison Bader. Living right, huh?
Ooh. Good clean living for Harrison Bader. Just chops the ball straight into the ground. Best part of this whole play, besides if you're a Harrison Bader fan and it's a knock, watch Rafi Devers. He's acting like nobody's going to see him. Oh, foul ball.
Nothing to see here. Time for Above and Beyond, sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Cardinals offense quiet over the first 8 innings last night. Had that rally in the 9th to make it a 1-run game, and they've kept on going tonight with 3 home runs. 9 runs over their last 7 innings back to the 9th inning.
Well, sometimes they always said momentum is only as good as the next day's starting pitcher. Well, they came out 2-run homer by Arenado in the first, so that knocked out that thought, and then they've just continued to add on solo run, solo home run, whatever it is. But they have kept the pressure on the Red Sox the entire evening.
Hiro Sawamura ready to come into this game. Cardinals have him at first and second. They lead 5-2. Trying to remain in first place in the National League Central with a close lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. They've made 3 straight postseason trips, the Cardinals have, but just 1 division title over the last 6 years. After they won 3 division titles in a row, 2013 to 2015. Kisner, the catcher, takes a ball.
And one of the more surprising moves, you mentioned it, Mike Shildt being let go after making the playoffs.
3 straight years.
It was a lot of people were shaking their head, questioning what's going on, but there's some things going on that we obviously don't know about.
2-0.
And Robles, I know they brought the trainer out there and Dave Bush was just out there to talk to him. He just doesn't look right. His velocity's down a few miles an hour. I don't know what they came out and they saw in him, but his velo is definitely down.
Nice play. Already got a lucky fan picked out. Day made.
Life made. Life memory.
Runners at first and second, 1 away, and a 2-1 pitch from Robles to Kisner. Very high, ball 3.
Carlson's, he's not going to steal on this pitch, but he was creeping like he was wanting to steal third base. Bader behind him will trail him. But Robles better. He's not going to steal 3-1 here. If he gets to 3-2, I definitely look for the Cardinals to send the runners.
They got these powder blues on. You can squint and picture the 80s and early 90s Cardinals out there running around with all the speed on this team. That is a strike, and the count goes full. Cardinals lead the National League in stolen bases. Speaking of running, powder blue.
Willie McGee.
The payoff pitch. Runners were moving. It's popped out of play. We'll do it again.
Is there a better 1-2 punch in the 80s Cardinals with Vince Coleman, Willie McGee on base on that turf in St. Louis? And then
track meet.
Then you had Tommy Herr hitting behind him. Drove in 100 runs with like 6 homers every year. Every time he came up, there was runners on second and third. Nobody out.
Seeing the running game coming back a little bit.
It is, and it's because of the home runs are down in baseball. Plus, people are just looking for different ways to put pressure on the other team, and a lot of teams don't hold runners very well anymore. So it's a huge advantage if you can do it. Bogart's trying to keep Carlson close, but you see how uncomfortable Hansel Robles is when he broke back. He was like, he knew it was coming. There's nothing he can do. And he's slow to the plate, so Carlson can get a great jump and steal third if this is a strikeout.
Still got a massive lead. Here's a pick play. In there easily. Homer for O'Neill, walk for Carlson, infield single for Bader, and a 3-2 coming again to the 9-hitter Kisner. Eventually.
He's just uncomfortable. He knows he's going to steal. He knows he's going to steal. Now he's looking at Bogarts, wondering what's going on. Bogarts can't hear the. I don't think he can hear the pitch comp signs. Took his hat off, but.
Jake Diekman has joined Sawamura. All right, there they go again. Here it comes again. Ball 4. And the bases are loaded. There's ball 4. And the Red Sox are saying, man, are you sure that was ball 4? It's a borderline pitch that goes the way of the Cardinals to load him up instead of what would have been a strike him out, throw him out to end the inning.
Most angry guy is Plawecki. That ball's off the plate away. Can't really frame it. Can't really do anything. Ball's off the plate, Joe.
Are you forgetting where you came from, buddy?
Well.
He says that's stinking horrible, man.
Something like that.
Yep. Alex Cora bringing in Sawamura. Bases loaded for the Cardinals. They lead 5-2. Baseball Night in America is back. Some of you will see the Rockies and the Twins. Others will catch a rematch of the last 2 National League Championship Series. The Dodgers and the Braves from Atlanta, Betts and Acuna, and so many others. All starting at 7 Eastern on Fox. Those Braves hadn't won more than 2 in a row before a 14-game winning streak. And baseball being baseball, they go to Wrigley Field and lose back-to-back games to the lowly Cubs.
Cubs are on a 10-game losing streak. Yeah. Don't ever tell me you can figure this game out, Joe.
Never. Sawamura is trying to figure it out. Bases loaded for the Cardinals. Tommy Edman at the plate. Just 1 gone. Hey! Strike 1.
Sawamura's been good. His fastball, changeup, sliders, changeup/split, slider have been very good. But if you're the Cardinals, this is the guy you want up in this situation. Very hard to strike out, hard to double up. Going to grind through an at bat for you.
Trying to extend a 7-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Bases loaded, 1 away. 1 ball, 1 strike. A key moment for Sawamura and the Red Sox bullpen, trying to keep within striking distance. Touched on how hot their offense has been. 6 runs per game over the last month plus. But the Cardinals with a chance to crack this thing open. Carlson at third, Bader at second, Kisner at first. Sawamura's 1-1. He is banged up the middle into center. Base hit Tommy Edman. This will drive home 2. And it's 7-2 St. Louis. Hitting streak extended to 8 games for Edman, who blasted that thing through the box.
Well, the perfect guy up for the Cardinals. Doesn't try to do too much. Gets a fastball up, out over the plate, and just drives it up the middle. Bader scores easily from second base. Duran does everything he can, try to come get the ball. Bader, there's no way they're slowing Bader down. 2-run signal for Edman.
3 in the bank for the Cardinals in this 6th inning. First and second for Donovan. Plenty of Cardinals fans in the house.
Always, always. But this is the thing the Cardinals have done all year. They don't leave the strike zone. They give you good at bats. They put the pressure on the pitchers to have to throw quality pitches and quality strikes.
Yeah, that's one of the sneaky things about this offense's improvement this year. They have the lowest strikeout rate in the National League. And we see October after October, those are the kinds of teams that typically have a shot at making runs.
The teams in the World Series and usually win the World Series the last few years have been the teams with very low strikeout rates. Home runs and strikeouts, those work in the regular season. Face the better pitchers, the odds go down.
Cardinals just hoping to keep sustaining what they're doing while they get healthy. Starting pitching so banged up. Flaherty just came back. Matt's on the IL. Hicks on the IL. Good chance that Hicks heads to the bullpen when he comes back. So really just the pitching staff as a whole. Get that right. The division's not very good. Cardinals are trying to get to 38 and 29. Grounded to first. Dahlbeck thought he had it, didn't. Late recovery, and he's safe at first. Bases loaded again as Dahlbeck couldn't bring in that grounder, and Donovan took nothing for granted.
No, he busted it all the way down the line. Dahlbeck trying to make a double play. Just clanks it. He doesn't realize it. Maybe should have flipped it to Sawamura, who was there. But, I mean, that is a tie. That's a tie, goes to the runner there, Joe.
Alex Cora says play on. 8th man to bat in the inning is the leading candidate for MVP. Paul Goldschmidt coming up with the bases loaded.
I feel like that's worth a challenge.
I'm with you. Big Papi needs to get his phone out and show Alex Cora the replay.
That is as close.
I'll even take it a step further. I think he's out.
Wow. Well, our opinions don't matter because they're not challenging.
No, we can't call New York. Strike one out in front of the split. Goldschmidt 1 for 3 tonight. Singled and scored on Arenado's first inning homer. Guy that has been just so steady for such a long time. 12th big league year. Cracks one over second and down into center field for Goldschmidt. The drive home 2 more. Cardinals have broken it wide open. They lead 9-2.
Not a bad pitch by Sawamura. He breaks Goldschmidt's bat. Split down right off the end of the bat. See shrapnel flying. But this man is so strong. Just flicks it out over Story's head for an easy 2 RBI single. Like you said, Joe, the Cardinals have broken this game wide open in the 6th inning.
5 in the bank. Still just 1 gone, and Arenado's coming up. They batted around against the Boston bullpen.
So is this considered batting around?
I say so. Are you a batting around truther? You think you got to get to the 10th guy?
I've always wondered that, though. Do you have to get, because if Arenado hits into a double play here, they didn't really bat around because.
I still say they did. Like if it fills up the whole score sheet, you know,
okay. Okay.
I get the other argument. I just choose to argue.
I'm not arguing. I'm just asking.
Yeah, no.
You do a lot more of these games than I do, so you have more of a understanding of what batting around truly is.
I don't know that that's true, but I appreciate it.
I know a 5 spot's not good if you're a Red Sox fan.
Albert Pujols have to give his gift back for this inning. Presented him with a 5 from out there.
I think they gave him a white one, not a yellow one.
Okay.
And the Red Sox don't want to remember that one out there, so probably not.
Two-run shot in the first inning for Arenado. Guy's hit more home runs than anybody in the National League since he debuted in 2013. You know, when he was in the minors coming up, he was never a huge power hitter. First 2 years in the big leagues, 10 home runs and 18 home runs, so some decent power, but that was at Coors Field, so that's not extraordinary. And then a couple years into his career, he said he made a conscious change where he decided that the power was the one missing piece. Changed some things in his swing, not with the intent of lifting the ball as much as backspinning the ball, matching the plane of the pitch, backspinning it. And started his swing with more aggression, and those homers came.
I wish it was that easy for everybody.
Right. I'm just going to backspin it. It'll go. Spoils that thing somehow. It spins foul.
I'm just going to hit more home runs. Okay, I'm going to go out and hit 30 a year.
Yeah.
Just that easy, Jim. Yeah. Well, you mentioned already how he felt like his defense to the left was lacking, so he went to work on that. Apparently, if he goes out, whatever he wants to do, he can do. He's that good of an athlete, that good of a player, that talented of a guy. But it's not that easy to just say, I'm going to hit more home runs. Let's go work on it one offseason, and boom, here's more home runs.
Hit 34 of them last year, his first season with the Cardinals, but he says the locked-in feeling that hitters are always looking for would come and go too much. He's an all-star, won a Gold Glove, all those things, but he went to work right away in the offseason trying to fix what he felt were those deficiencies. On a 2-2 from Sawamura. Arenado swats one by Story into right center field, base hit, 10-2. Arenado's knocked in 3. Now they've batted around no matter who you are or what you believe.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
Listen, I like this swing better than the home run swing. You got 2 strikes, you got a runner on third, you get a fastball out. See him, the head down on the ball, the way he stays through that ball, beats his old buddy Trevor Story through the right side. That's the swing that makes you a superstar. The runner on third, less than 2 outs, take what the pitcher gives you and drive in that run.
Arenado, right when last season finished, went to the Titleist Golf Institute in California, where they wired him up like they do golfers and analyzed his swing like they do golf swings. And they identified mobility as the biggest problem, especially in his hips. So he made that the focus of his offseason physical training. One of the things that he adopted was kickboxing. Get some mobility, get some more strength in those hips. Gorman takes outside ball 2. The spot that he was struggling most last year was against fastballs, which has never been an issue for him, and that's where he felt that the hip issues were manifesting most. Well, he's fixed the hip problems and he's back to crushing fastballs.
That, and if a fight breaks out, he's the first guy.
That's
first
right.
choice, right?
Yeah.
Kickboxer.
Fly to center field. Duran's going to have room on this one, and finally the second out of the inning. And Gorman has made both outs in this inning. He struck out to begin it, and now he flies out to center for out number 2. 2022 Chevrolet MLB All-Star Ballot is now open. Scan the QR code or visit MLB.com/vote to send your favorite players to LA this summer.
He'll be there. Arenado should be there. You'll be there, Joe.
It will be. Can't wait.
I'll be on vacation.
to the All-Star game?
No.
Tyler O'Neill started the scoring in this 6-run inning with a solo homer. Almost gets hit by the first one from Sawamura.
Mentioned Gorman making 2 outs in an inning. That's a bad feeling.
Yeah.
That's everyone else is happy in the dugout, high five, and I hit a homer, I scored runs, I did this, I did that, and you're the guy in the corner pouting because you made both the outs.
It's rare that they're the first 2 outs. Usually it's the first and the third, but the only guy that's made one so far. He can just think back to the 4th inning when he hit a ball like 600 feet.
He's forgotten about that already.
Yeah.
This inning, hitters aren't like that. Most hitters look at it and say, yeah, I hit one 440, but then I punched out and flew out to center. We've got 2 outs in this inning. Everyone else is on base and scored runs.
Horrible. 2-0. 2-1.
I want to know how many guys have made all 3 outs, like first out and then they hit into a double play to end an inning. That's got to be even worse.
Yeah, not what you want.
See, Gorman, he's hiding. Everyone else like a top step, happy, smiling.
Zach Thompson. Looks like he'll come in for the bottom of the 6th as long as this half inning has been. Ball 3 on O'Neill.
That's the key. Long inning. Hudson's pitch counts at 93. But this is a long inning. This inning, half inning's been going for 15-20 minutes. Visit from the trainer, pitching changes, a lot of runs scored, a little bit chilly. All right, you did a good job, Dakota. Now we're going to let the bullpen try to finish this out.
A walk and the bases are loaded. Hey, time flies when you're having fun, huh? 30 minutes actually this half inning. Dave Bush coming out for a visit. The Red Sox pitching that's been really solid over the last month, helping them. There's 25-11 run, 12-3 June. Giving up 10 runs over 5 2/3 tonight. Well, the inaugural USFL playoffs kick off next weekend on Fox as the Philadelphia Stars face off with the New Jersey Generals for a berth in the title game. From the Pro Football Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, the USFL playoffs next Saturday at 3 Eastern on Fox. This is the staff entering today in the month of June, #1 in the majors with a 2.21 ERA. Carlson walked earlier this inning. Takes a strike.
Well, you know what Mama said, Joe. There'd be days like this.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have days. Can't figure it out. Everyone's rolling. Everyone's doing the right thing. And like the Cubs and the Braves, just never know.
Bases loaded, 2 gone, and 0-1 that Carlson chases, and it's 0-2. Strike 3 called. And mercifully, the 6th inning comes to an end. Rough inning. Ejection for the Red Sox. All kinds of runs for the Cardinals. They score 6 times in the inning, and they lead 10-2. Six runs for the Cardinals in the 6th inning and a 10-2 lead as Franchy Cordero takes ball 1 from Zach Thompson. That long layover for Dakota Hudson comes out of the game even though the pitch count was still in control. And Zach Thompson makes his 3rd big league appearance. Worked out of the bullpen in his first big league outing and picked up a save by going 4 innings and giving up just 1 run. Then started a game against Pittsburgh earlier this week. Gave up 5 runs over 5 innings.
If Oliver Marmol could get the last 4 innings by Zach Thompson, he would be ecstatic.
Set you up for tomorrow. Final game of this series.
Down.
2 balls, 1 strike on Cordero. Andre Palante and Nick Pivetta, the pitching matchup. 12:35 Eastern or 1:35 Eastern. Looks like it's headed for a rubber match tomorrow after the Red Sox won game 1 6-5. Cardinals all over the Red Sox here in game 2. 3-1 on Cordero. Walked his first time, then grounded out. Franchy Cordero, 27 years old, out of the Dominican Republic, fouls it off and the count goes full. Started his baseball career as a shortstop, but committed almost an error a game his first year as a pro. A lot of those were throwing errors. So the Padres moved him. Started playing the outfield. Added first base to the equation last year. He's in left tonight. Leads off the 6th and sends one in the air to left center field. O'Neill and Bader coming together. It's Bader taking command for out number 1. Center fielder's the captain.
Get out of his way. O'Neill as big as he is, as strong as he is. Bader coming full speed. O'Neill jumped right out of the way.
If you're coming together with O'Neill in the gap, you better be calling it loud and clear.
Yeah, I don't want to run into him. He is built well.
Popeye, they call him. No idea why. Kisner needs a new pitch count.
I feel like every game I do, the battery dies or something happens with pitch count where they have to bring somebody a new one. Can we get some batteries that last, please?
Would you have been into it? Pitch count?
I'd be all over it.
Yeah,
that'd be great. But now, see, I would like. Wish you could like change it mid-game and have it say something. Because then you would have to have mound visit. You could have like a walkie-talkie.
I like that. 2-way.
Yeah.
Bobby Dahlbeck. It's been on both times. Singled home a run in the 2nd. Walked in the 4th.
Not only did Kinsner go over there and get a new pitch comm system, but we didn't show, but he got thumbed on a foul ball and he took his glove off and the umpire gave him a minute to think about it. He has a brace on that thumb, but nothing stings you more.
Candy Hop Arenado. 2 up and 2 down in the 6th. It's going to be interesting in the postseason with PitchCom when every stadium is really rocking, because we've seen the louder the stadium, the more problems there are with pitchers and position players hearing. But when the stadium's really going.
How loud is too loud for the pitch? You see pitchers put their glove over their ear so they can hear. You've seen guys take it out of their hat and try to turn the volume up.
Jackie Bradley Jr.
I think we could come up with like a little earpiece that actually goes in your ear.
Yeah, but you know, wearing what we call IFBs and TV, those aren't the most comfortable thing. Be a little distracting. Feel like they're going to pop out. You don't want that, do you?
No. Just kind of brainstorming over here,
right.
Joe.
No,
Better
thinking
ways,
out loud. It's good.
We could just go back to the old signs, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, picture this. We'll have a pitch correspond with the number of fingers that I put down.
Yeah, but then you got to worry about people stealing them.
Yeah, we don't need that either.
At what point is someone going to figure out how to steal one of these radio frequencies?
Swing and a miss by Bradley. You know, it's from the magic industry. You can't break magic. You can't steal magic. Back in Boston, back on Baseball Night in America. Hard to beat a summer night in this great city. 10-2, Cardinals in front. Doesn't necessarily feel like a summer night tonight, though.
We showed people with the beanies on. I feel like, can we get one of those up here? I'm starting to get a little chilly.
Austin Davis has had a great season. Gave up 1 run over a 22-game span prior to last night, but allowed 3 runs in the 9th inning last night. So Alex Cora getting him right back out there, trying to get him back on track as Harrison Bader leads off.
Exactly the right thing to do, Joe. Like, that's what you love about Alex Cora. He understands. Hey, he had a rough one. Let's run him right back out there, get his confidence back, because he's going to need this guy.
Bader lifts one to left. Cordero. 1 away. Time to check in with Chris Myers for a game break. Crazy, right?
It couldn't have been all Joe Girardi, could it? The numbers don't lie, but I love Joe Girardi. Apparently the Phillies did it.
Andrew Kisner takes ball 1. A very intense, serious guy, Joe is. And you wonder with the struggles early on that the Phillies had, and the defensive issues, guys already struggling defensively. Probably not the greatest vibe when you're dealing with those things. And Rob Thompson, taken over, and they've taken off. Hard to ignore the timing of it all.
Yeah, but ow. I don't miss that. And I don't know what manager, whether it's Alex Cora, as we see Plawecki get one off the hand. Oh, the shoulder, yeah. Stinger, like in football, a stinger. Just kind of clips you on the corner of your collarbone there. You just lose feeling. You see this trainer up underneath there. Just lose some feeling in your arm for a second. But I don't know what manager, Joe, whether it's Joe Girardi or Joe Torre or Connie Mack or whoever, if you have bad defense and you're not playing good, they're not going to be real happy. I don't care what their personality is.
Yeah. Everybody in that division scalding hot. You got the Mets with the best record in the league. Braves just won 14 straight. Even the Marlins were getting going. Plawecki looks like going to stay in the game.
How good is Alcantara for the Marlins?
Who starts the All-Star game in the National League?
It won't be him.
Joe Musgrove?
It will not be Alcantara. I'll say that now. Unless something changes. Just for for no other reason than he's a Marlin. If he was on the Cubs, Cardinals, Dodgers, he'd be almost guaranteed with his numbers. Now he'll probably start just because I said that. Prove me wrong.
Just in spite of what AJ said.
But Musgrove has been really good.
You know, the ERA leader in the National League, Tony Gonsolin.
Be a nice story if he started as a Dodger in Dodger Stadium. You'd think it'd be Kershaw or Bueller. Tony Gonsolin.
It's a walk for Kisner. Back to the top of the order, and Tommy Edman, and down to the field, Ken Rosenthal.
Well, Joe, we talked earlier about Tommy Edman moving from second base to shortstop in the middle of this season. He also had a significant move in the batting order back to the leadoff spot. You remember the last couple of years, Edman's on-base percentage hasn't been very high, but he has justified Ollie Marmol's decision to put him back in that spot. Now, it's interesting. He told me he hasn't changed his approach. He's simply producing better and more consistent at bats. And because he's hitting the ball harder this season, pitchers are less inclined to attack him in the zone, hence more walks.
And that highest on-base percentage of his career. And Tommy's really doing what he's always done. He's undersized, so doubters, and that's always been the case, and he's always proven those doubters wrong. He's 140 pounds, soaking wet. He's a high school freshman, but made the varsity. Smallest player in his class at Stanford, but broke into the lineup right away. He was an all Pac-12 shortstop. He's a 6th round pick, never a top prospect, but took third base from Matt Carpenter as a rookie. Stuck in the majors. A lot of it had to do with his versatility. Didn't really get a chance as an everyday guy until last year. And he won a Gold Glove in his first year as the everyday second baseman, with Colton Wong going to Milwaukee.
Just a great story. Smaller guy, never gives up. It's the stories you like to hear about baseball. It's the one thing about baseball. You can be any size, and you can still play. If you can play, you can play, and they'll find you. And if you can grind out at bats and put quality at bats on pitchers, they'll find a place for you, especially if you're versatile, like you said about Edman. He can play pretty much anywhere if you put him there.
And a 1-2 from Austin Davis. He grounds one up the middle. Story to the bag. Throws to first. Double play. Stretch time in Boston. All Cardinals.
For being the new voice of the World Series. I love you, Daddy.
Wow. That's special. Love you guys too.
Happy Father's Day.
Same to you, buddy.
My kids didn't make me a video, though.
No.
Apparently not.
It's not too late, though. Father's Day's not till tomorrow.
But think how cool it is. You know, your kids are on there giving you national television. My kids are at home, probably not watching the game.
Well, thank you guys.
That was sweet.
Yeah, Charlotte's birthday tomorrow too.
Yeah,
happy birthday, honey.
Charlotte.
She was born on Father's Day, and this is the first one since the day she was born that falls on it as well. Plawecki slaps this one foul. 9-1-2 for the Red Sox in this inning. Duran and Devers to follow. And Zach Thompson stays in there, like you said. The Cardinals would love to have him finish this off, set things up nicely for tomorrow.
See, the difference is, Joe, my kids are 16 and 15.
Yeah.
So they don't think that's cool anymore. Right?
One away. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Hyundai and the 2022 Tucson and Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. And by Allstate, reminding you that baseball season is mayhem.
See, my son just texted me and was like, I'm watching.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
And so you can say, good. Looking forward to my video tomorrow.
I love you, kids.
Strike on Duran.
Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Hope you have a video ready for me.
Yeah. And if you want one from Dad, check him out on Cameo. Duran chases 0-2.
Good pitch by Thompson. Good breaking ball. Slow curveball. He's been throwing mid-90s, and he dropped a 74-mile-an-hour curveball in there.
What do you make of this American League East mess, AJ?
Well, the Yankees are going to win the division. We've already kind of discussed that. Now, the other three, they're just going to beat each other up. Who can...
2 out.
Who can beat the other two more, right? With all the wild cards in play, they all feel like they're alive. AL Central doesn't really... Well, the White Sox get it together. AL West, Houston's clearly right now the front runner. Can the Mariners get it together? The Angels have been so up and down. But can these teams get it together? Can all three make it? That would be 4 teams from one division in the first year of the extra wild card. That would be amazing.
Devers 0 for 3 today. Now the Red Sox are going into a stretch here where they're really going to have to earn it. a lot of this run, this 25-11 run, has been against bad teams. They've played 27 games in a row prior to this weekend against teams below 500. Look, that's part of the deal, right? You got to beat the teams that you should, and they have. But this weekend begins a stretch of 42 games, 36 against winning teams, including that stretch you saw right there. 14 in a row going into the break against the Yankees and the Rays.
We're going to find out real quick what the Red Sox are made of in the next couple weeks.
Top 8-run game. Cardinals all over the Red Sox here in the middle game of this 3-game series. Ball 1 on the 2-hitter Brendan Donovan. Hi. 1-1. Hello, Kenny.
Hello, Joe. Brendan Donovan is an interesting guy because he's sitting in the visiting dugout before the game tonight, kind of taking in the scene. His father, Jim, is from Plastown, New Hampshire. And Brendan grew up a fan of all of the New England sports teams, including the Red Sox. And he said last night, having came to games here as a kid, it was kind of weird, middle of the 8th inning here in Sweet Caroline, from the opposite's perspective.
Swings and misses. He's down on strikes for the first out of the 8th.
It's always cool when you're a kid and you're a fan of a certain team growing up, and then you get to play in that stadium. For me, it was I grew up a Braves fan. So the first time you get to play either against the Braves or in the stadium you grew up going to as a kid, it is a special feeling, and good for him for taking it all in and enjoying the moment.
Goldschmidt with 1 gone. Paul grew up in this section, at least, of the country, this side of the country. He's from Delaware. His dad launched a successful flooring company, though, and moved the family to Houston, expanded that when Paul was young. Hey. 2 balls, 1 strike. But you go a little farther back in Paul's family history. His grandfather and great-grandfather, they came from Germany and settled in Boston. So he's got some Boston ties as well. His great-grandma helped make ends meet selling candy door to door here. And his great-grandpa, who he's named after, the first Paul Goldschmidt, eventually opened a diner in Boston. Fly ball, center field. Duran going back to the track with room. Don't worry if you didn't win Big Papi's money this week, because Fox Bet Super 6 is giving you another free chance to win next week. Scan the QR code now, download the Super 6 app, and enter your picks in next week's MLB Super 6 Challenge for a free chance at $10,000.
I'm looking at you with a quizzical look on my face because I just want to know where you find this stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of information out there these days. I can't tell you where I found that one. Arenado with 2 out. Takes a ball.
His grandfather started a, would you say, a restaurant here in Boston?
Grandma sold candy door to door.
If you tell me the kind of candy, I'll be really impressed.
Sugar based.
Is it like Werther's Original or something?
Geez, I guess that's where my research falls short.
It's outside.
2-1 on Arenado.
Nice couple innings here, like we talked about with Davis bouncing back after a rough one last night. Inning and 2/3 solid here so far.
All 4.
It's a walk for Arenado. 3rd time he's been on tonight. Homers, single, now walk. Bring your friends to the game for the one spot with all your favorite free MLB games. Play the hits with Beat the Streak, Quick Picks, and more. Visit MLB.com/play and download MLB Play today. Here comes Albert Pujols. Fenway crowd saluting baseball royalty. Saluted him before the game. They presented him with a number 5 from the scoreboard. Kind of tribute he's getting a lot of the places he's going, and deservingly so.
Nice moment.
Great thing is, this isn't just a feel-good story. He is still doing exactly what they brought him in to do, and that is hammer left-handed pitching. 5th on the all-time list. Davis takes a seat in that follow-through. He gets a strike, and it's 0-2.
See Davis goes down. He looked at him like, what the heck?
Wainwright was saying earlier tonight when we were talking to him that Goldschmidt right now this year, people have asked him who would you compare that to. He says, well, remember Albert Pujols? He was like that for 10 years in a row. And in Albert's 11 seasons with the Cardinals, his average was .328. He averaged 40 home runs a year. He averaged 120 RBIs a year. In those 11 seasons, he was an All-Star 9 times. He was an MVP 3 times. Runner-up another 4 times.
That's why he's going to Cooperstown. That's why there'll be a 5 hanging in St. Louis, along with all their other retired jerseys. But this guy was an animal.
Who somehow famously lasted until the 13th round of the draft all those years ago. There were 401 players picked before Albert Pujols, one in the 13th round in 1999.
But he was up quick. 2001, he was already up in the major league. So whatever the Cardinals saw in him, they developed him really quickly.
Pops this one straight back.
First time I ever heard of Albert Pujols. AAA, 2000. He was in Memphis. I was in Salt Lake for some of that year. We lost in the playoffs. Well, we didn't, but my Salt Lake team did to Memphis. Guess who hit the walk-off homer to win it?
A young Albert.
Albert Pujols. First, they're like, this Albert Pujols guy, you got to see him to believe him. I'm like, who? Sure enough, became a pretty good player.
Yeah, decent. Came up when he was 21. Cardinals invited him to spring training that year, really without any intention of him making the team. They just wanted to get a look at this great minor league guy. He had a huge spring. Bobby Bonilla pulled his hamstring. Albert got called up, start the season there, and the rest is baseball history. Next pitch is going to be the 9th.
This could be his last at bat, possibly at Fenway, so the fans are getting a nice treat to a long at bat from Albert.
On the 9th pitch, Pujols fouls it off. How about a 10th?
And Albert's on a victory tour, kind of, as you say, like a celebration. He got to pitch this year too, though.
So cool. Him and Yachty. On the 10th pitch, Pujols grounds one along third, foul. On the 11th pitch of the at-bat, he goes down swinging, but the fans got their money's worth out of that strikeout. 11 pitches, they got to watch Albert Pujols work at it.
touching hand, reaching out, touching me, touching you, sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now I look at the night.
But how cool is that? The man himself here for Sweet Caroline. A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical, is coming to Broadway. You can watch it, of course, in Boston on stage as well. Emerson Colonial Theater. Pretty cool, huh?
That was really cool.
Yeah.
To hear him sing that here.
JD Martinez leads off this inning behind 0-2.
Is there another song in baseball
That's synonymous with one
other than "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"? Maybe at Wrigley. As that song in Boston.
Yeah, I mean, every stadium has their, not every, but a lot of them have their songs that play when the team wins. But as far as a mid-game song,
it's as good as it gets. That, and again, Wrigley 7th inning stretch. The guest singers. Have you got to do that yet? Sing the 7th inning stretch?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I've never done that. I don't even have to ask you.
No.
Yeah.
It's inside.
1-2 on Martinez. Martinez stays alive. 0 for 3 tonight. Top 3 in the order for the Red Sox, 0 for 11. Another 1-2 is inside, and the count evens up 2-2 on Martinez. Red Sox just 4 hits in this game. 10 runs on 11 hits for the Cardinals. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Red Sox. Walks for everybody. And a full count on Martinez. Beg your pardon, did that hit him? Or he thought that there was another walk, and you can't necessarily blame him. It would be on brand for tonight's game.
I was just thinking, man, a 3-2 curveball from Thompson with an 8-run lead. I know JD Martinez is a great hitter, but it's a little much.
Yeah. Been 11 walks in this game. Can't blame him for thinking it was number 12. 8th pitch coming up to JD Martinez, leading off this 8th. Thompson comes home. Martinez fouls it off.
So as I say that, he throws a 3-2 curveball that Martinez fouls off. 4 hits for the Red Sox. Bogarts and Story have 3 of the 4. The rest of the team 1 for 18, including, like you mentioned, the top of the order.
Another long AB will go a little longer. Martinez, one of the great hitters in baseball. After 3 below average seasons in Houston, went to the Tigers, changed his swing, changed his life. 4 years there, traded to Arizona, monster to finish off that year, and then signed the 5-year contract that he's wrapping up this year in Boston. The 10th pitch, another foul.
Did you see his hands? He has kind of the split grip, the old school split grip. Even taking practice swings with a split grip, that's for bat control, especially with the top hand. See how his hands are split and then he kind of moves them down. Must be a feel. And you mentioned JD changing his career and he changed baseball. He was the first guy I ever heard of filming batting practice. Now everybody does it.
It's another foul. I mean, there's that. There is him being one of the first guys to adopt the quote-unquote modern swing, trying to match the plane of the pitch and backspin the ball. There have been several guys that have learned directly from him. Prominent players. Mookie Betts is one that comes to mind that altered his swing after JD Martinez came to Boston. He's like another hitting coach, and every hitting coach that the Red Sox have says that.
It's nice to have veteran guys that have had success that are able to help other guys. That'd be a nice guy to learn from. Albert Pujols. Sit down and talk to him every day.
It's going to be the 13th pitch to Martinez. Not giving anything away here despite being down by 8. Grounded to short. Edman circles around it and gets him. Well, today the Red Sox recognized their newest group of Red Sox Scholars. Red Sox Scholars is a college success program that gives a $10,000 scholarship to 12 Boston public school 7th graders every year. Foundation provides mentorship and support for the next 9 years to the students to ensure they graduate from college with as little debt as possible. Since the program's inception, which was back in 2003, the Red Sox Foundation has supported 337 students in Boston. One gone, Xander Bogaerts. Spinner for a strike.
Absolutely awesome program the Red Sox do here. And favorite part of that video is Tim Wakefield. I don't know what he was doing, but he was having the time of his life.
Tim's involved in the TV side for the Red Sox these days.
Outside.
Doing a lot of pre and post. Bogaerts went around 0-2.
Tim's just involved with the Red Sox. It's like he had that lifetime contract every year. You can come and pitch as long as you want to, Tim. And not a nicer fellow in the world than Tim Wakefield. Joe, I count 3 balls on the net. How do they get those down after the game?
Stuck on there?
Yeah, there's 3 of them. They roll up and then they're not fast enough to go over the lip on the net behind home plate. So someone's got to climb up there after the game.
I think we got a rope. We drop down from here and the color analyst goes down the rope and grabs them.
I'm in.
So
just hope it's a big rope.
0-2. Checks a swing, ball 1 on Bogaerts.
Well, there's a picture in the press box. Most people don't get to come up in the press box of what, 67 when they won the AL pennant and the fans are climbing on that net trying to get into the press box.
Yeah. Faced these Cardinals that 67 season in the World Series. Ran into Bob Gibson in 3 complete games. That was a bad man.
If I have to climb down to get the balls, you have to climb back up on that net.
So how do I get down there in the first place, though?
You just have to start behind home plate after the game.
Climb up from home plate. Okay. 2-2 on Bogaerts. Sure love coming here.
Everything they've done here just looks like it was meant to be here. The seats over the monster. That they've added some new stuff in right field.
2 out. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. And by Budweiser Zero. Full flavor, 0% alcohol, 100% on your game. 45 years ago today, times were different. This was at Fenway. Billy Martin pulls Reggie Jackson from the game, and this ensues. Here's Story with 2 out, strike 1.
My oh my, have times have changed. Can you imagine a manager and a player doing that Oh, the Instagram, Twitter. Oh, the amount of coverage that would get. That was like a regular Tuesday for the Yankees back then.
There's an 0-1. Story takes high. Yankees and Red Sox met to open up the season. They don't meet again until that stretch we were talking about going into the All-Star break, where they play nothing but Yankees and Rays over a 14-game span. Going to be a lot of fun, though. Those two teams coming together a lot through the middle part of the summer into the later stages of the season. 1-2 on Story.
One thing I like the unbalanced schedule right now with you play in your division so many games.
You do like that?
I do like that, but I know they want to change it.
It's going away next year.
So, but I like that. I think it makes your division winner more of a true division winner. Plus it cuts down on the flights cross country, especially if you're an East team. You only have to go cross country to play those teams one time each.
Well, starting next year, you're going to play 14 times against teams in your division instead of 19. But you're going to play everybody across baseball, as opposed to just one division in interleague play plus your rival each year. You'll play everybody from the opposing league, and the teams outside your rival interleague team you'll play just once. So, for example, Red Sox will play the Cubs in Boston one year. They'll play the Cubs in Chicago the next year, but it will be every year those teams will play.
I get it.
Yeah.
But I always, call me old if you want, Joe, but I always thought it was something special, kind of interleague when they brought it in. Okay, it took a little meaning out of the World Series. I know it's the World Series, but you didn't get to, back in the day, the only two times the Red Sox and Cubs would play is if they met in the World Series, and that kind of takes a little bit out of it.
Ground ball. Donovan well positioned. Gets Story and ends the 8th. On the strength of a 6-run 6th inning, St. Louis with a 10-2 lead to the 9th. Tyler O'Neill had a home run to begin the scoring in that 6th. One of the 3 times he's reached today. Also a walk and a single. 3rd inning of work for Austin Davis. Trying to do the same for Boston as Zach Thompson has done for St. Louis, and that is set things up to be a little better tomorrow for the final game of this series and what is likely going to be the rubber match between these squads. Two teams with postseason aspirations. Just much different scenarios, much different circumstances. Red Sox in the beast that is the American League East. Cardinals in the relatively easy National League Central. It's a base hit to left. 3rd hit of the game for O'Neill. Regular season is underway and anything can happen. Follow @MLB on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube so you don't miss a thing in 2022.
If Davis can get through this inning for the Red Sox, yes, they're more than likely going to lose this game, but this is a lifesaver, pen saver for the Red Sox. He'll be able to go 3 innings for them. Save all the guys they wanted to stay away from. For Alex Cora, Diekman, Strom, Houck, Schreiber, all these guys are a little bit more high leverage guys. They all have them all available tomorrow. Much like the Cardinals with Thompson. If he can finish it off, all their high leverage guys are ready, and that sets both teams up for a great showdown in the rubber match tomorrow.
And Davis really digging deep for him. This is a guy who's only thrown 30 pitches one time. Previous high was 35. And this one will be his 44th. And he pitched last night. His 2-1. Caught the corner. 2-2 on Carlson. The Red Sox team that last year was one of the big surprises in baseball. Nobody really thought that they'd be around, and they wound up being in first place much of the year. They were 500 over the final couple months. Tampa Bay got hot, won the division, but the Red Sox beat them in the division series. Yep. Carlson goes around one away after they beat the Yankees in the wild card game, and then took the Astros into a game 6 in the ALCS before the Astros won that, moved on.
They wore the Astros out.
Yeah.
The Astros cruised past the White Sox in the division series, and then the series against the Red Sox after McCullers went down for the Astros last year. They basically ran out of pitching by the time they got to the World Series. The Astros had nobody left. They were scrambling to figure out who was going to start some of those games.
Oh, 2 on Harrison Bader. And this year, when we're talking about the division, and boy, can anybody catch the Yankees? It's not looking like it. The Yankees leading the Red Sox by, after tonight, 14.5. 12-game lead on the Toronto Blue Jays after beating them today. That's a grounder through the right side, and the third hit of the game for Harrison Bader. But how many times have we seen all you got to do is get in, especially now? The 3 wild card teams, you get a legit 3-game series to play as a wild card team. Just get in, and who knows
who's hot at the right time.
Who's hot, who's healthy.
And I'll be interested with the new format and the seeds getting a bye, the top seeds getting byes in the playoffs. How does it affect them?
Kisner to right center field. That's going to split the gap and bounce into the bullpen for a double. Andrew Kisner, who's been searching for it, drives home Tyler O'Neill. It's 11-2 St. Louis. 0 for his first 2 tonight. I made him 2 for his last 38. He's gone walk, double now.
Just gets the ball out over the plate, ready for it. First pitch. Smokes this ball into right center. Actually cost him an RBI by bouncing over the short wall into the bullpen. Bader would have scored on this ball easily.
Davis still going. It's Tommy Edman now, who is 1 for 5. That one hit was a 2-run single.
Nobody's up for the Red Sox, and if someone else comes into pitch, it's going to be a position player.
Talking about guys with Massachusetts ties. There's some for Tommy Edman. His dad played college baseball at Williams. 4-year starter. And then went on to coach Tommy in high school. TJ McFarland getting ready for the bottom of the 9th. It's a big baseball family, the Edman family. His older brother John, front office with the Twins. Sister Elise, front office with the Cardinals. And John coached both boys. Tommy would like to have a career in the front office once his playing career is over with. He's got a computational science degree from Stanford. That'll play. Computational science.
What do you become with a computational science degree?
Big league all-star.
Yeah.
And front office executive.
Yeah.
He's got him at second and third, trying to drive in a couple more, but he takes strike 3. 2 gone in the 9th.
Backdoor breaking ball. Umpire behind home plate. Chad Wilson's like, it's 11-2. Swing the bat, Tommy.
Fly ball off of the bat of Brendan Donovan, and in left center field it's Franchi Cordero to put an end to the top of the 9th. Game's biggest stars meet under the California sun at Dodger Stadium for the first time in 40 years. It's the MLB All-Star Game, July 19th, right here on Fox. Who's going to play first base for the National League? Some pretty good company with Paul Goldschmidt. Hard to deny what he's doing, leading baseball in just about every category. Looking at the slash lines. Alonso leading the National League with the 19 home runs. Freddie Freeman not hitting for the same kind of power that he usually does, and has struggled the last few weeks. A lot of good ones, though.
I'll take Goldschmidt.
Yeah, hard to argue it.
And I'll take Pete Alonso in the home run derby.
Can't go wrong there. Back-to-back champ. TJ McFarland. It started to settle in a little bit. 3 straight outings without giving up a run before struggling last night again. That is ripped to left and off the wall. Rob Refsnyder with a pinch hit base hit to open the 9th inning. All kinds of changes for you for the Cardinals. That includes Ivan Herrera, who just came back up this weekend with Molina going on the injured list. Kisner moves over to first base. Edmundo Sosa is in the game at third. Bobby Dahlbeck. It's a good chance tomorrow you see Herrera starting at catcher for the Cardinals. Just turned 22 years old. Yet another young player who they bring into the fold. Yet to have an at-bat in the majors. Caught an inning in his first call-up in late May. Yeah, going to catch this last inning here before likely starting tomorrow. 0-1 to Dahlbeck.
The Cardinals are very high on Herrera. Talking to the guys before the game, I think he's got a chance to be a really, really good player for a long time. Behind the plate. Those behind the plate catchers, they're hard to find, Joe.
Yeah. They're all really good guys, though. Charging Edman. Smooth play.
Nice play by Edman. This is how you win a Gold Glove. Attack the ball, come and get it, and just make a perfect throw. One thing I hate more than anything, see how Dahlbeck didn't touch the bag? If you run all that way, at least touch the base.
You hate that more than anything, huh?
I don't know about anything, but it really drives me crazy. And just, you run all that way, just touch the base.
Huh.
Why run over it? You can, so if you, as a base runner, when you're running, if you look at the base and you look at the front of the base, you're going to hit that part of it. Your body will take the steps. And it's not a lack of effort. It's just kind of a lack of bothering me, I think.
Yeah.
Not a lack of effort, not a lack of anything other than just bothers me.
It's kind of your thing, huh?
Well, I have a lot of things, but that's one of them.
Strike on Bradley. You know, it used to be that you couldn't overrun first base. It was like the other bases in the early days of baseball. But then ice baseball caught on one winter, and you couldn't stop. And they kept the rules from ice baseball the next summer, and that's how that came to be in baseball as we know it now.
I'm going to ask this question again. Where do you find this stuff?
There's a great book with those kinds of things called Game of Inches. The basically history of everything in baseball, where it came from, down the line foul. Game of Inches.
I'm gonna have to read that.
It's like an encyclopedia.
Is there a Cliff Notes version?
I don't know about that. It was good pandemic reading. You know, pull out the highlighter and dive in there.
Ice baseball.
Yep. At short, it's Edman again. And the Red Sox down to their last out.
Another nice play by Edman. It's 9th inning. It's 11-2. He's made 2 really nice plays. One ball where he charged it. This ball, again, he comes and gets it. Watch his first step. Watch how he comes and gets it. And then he sets his feet to line up the throw. Bradley can run down the line. Times it perfect. See how Bradley touched the base?
That was sweet.
Perfect.
Uh-huh. 2 gone, 9th inning. Plawecki. Glad to see him staying in the game after he took that foul ball off of the collarbone earlier. So series wraps up tomorrow. 1:30 game here at Fenway Park. Nick Pivetta has been fantastic for the Red Sox. Scouted for Boston. Andre Palante goes for the Cardinals, one of their rookies. And for the Cardinals, it's on to Milwaukee for a series between the top two teams in the Central. One ball, 2 strikes. Cardinals going to improve to 38-29 and remain in first place in the division. While the Red Sox will fall to 35-31. And on to their 4th loss in June.
I don't think anybody would have predicted the Cardinals in first place right now. The injuries they've had, losing Flaherty for almost the whole year, losing Matz, the way their rotation's been beat up, losing Yadi Molina, but here they are.
2-2. Lifted to left. No big deal for O'Neill, and that will seal it. A blowout win for the Cardinals, 11-2, even the series up at a game apiece. In 3 hours and 28 minutes, the Cardinals take game 2. Snap this little 2-game slide and back on track. Standings in the East. Yankees win their 9th in a row today. They're 16th out of their last 17. They lead the division by 12. They lead the Red Sox by 14.5. And the Brewers, who won earlier tonight, watched the Cardinals do the same and grow the lead back to a full game. 11 runs on 14 hits for the Cards, 2 runs on just 5 hits for the Red Sox. Hudson wins. He's now 5-3. Coming up next, we'll send you back to the studio. Chris Myers, Dontrell Willis, Frank Thomas for post-game coverage right after these messages, after a Cardinals win at Fenway Park.